like I'm supposed to be somewhere. Oh well, must not be important.
Yeah, if you didn't remember, it's probably not important. You're right.
I fucking panic, and then I looked over and my iPad instead of my phone.
Okay. It's been a while since we've played. So, does anyone... excuse me. Does anyone want to review? Or does nobody take notes?
I don't take notes.
I know you don't. I gave you all journals, both like in the launcher in the game itself, and I know you don't use it.
Like physical journals are like, wait a second, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I would not give you a waste of paper. You guys wouldn't use it anyways. You guys don't take notes.
That's besides the point. What the fuck are you doing on the counter?
Let's see.
Better fucking run.
We are in Cardos, but I don't have any notes for Cardos. We must have just ended here.
Yes, you guys arrived at Cardos. I believe you came here. Yeah, so you had just left Margarine. The trip from Cardos to Margarine isn't too great. And you guys were reviewing what you knew about Cardos previously, what you knew about the place, and what you did before. Because
we have a group name. That's an important thing that happened.
Yes, you
potential messenger 6, the PMS.
Even though there's 5 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the 6 is accounting for
the potential.
The potential.
Yeah. No, it's for our 6 familiars, like our 3 gonna be 4 skeletons, and our frog, and our dead rat. That's currently an owl?
And then what happens when Cam summons 4 more undead?
I can actually summon. I can summon at least 1 more, at least 2 more. I can get 1 more skeleton.
Hey, you know what, Leo? 7 also starts with a S.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
At some point, the 7's just gonna refer to Penny's little entourage.
Okay.
So
wonderful.
So, from notes that I have for Margarine, they are in the process of transitioning between speakers.
Yes, the speaker that you met with, Brush Paddle, was like just recently elected. Like you guys were days before, like a day before the election, like the process even.
And we met up with him. He was like, "Hey, there's some shit going on in the mines. I can't help you right now, but I'll be at the thing that you guys are talking about."
Yeah, he said it was just going to be a few kobolds that he can handle.
It's never just a few kobolds.
Who is being sprayed?
Me. There's cat hair all over my dice tray, so I'm trying to get it out. Sorry.
Yeah, Cardos is the location. It is where Karth lives. It's where you met Kat. Even that was where you met the wandering sledlings that was dragging like some broken harness with behind her. Led her to
show them what I can do now.
The abode of Karth and Keegan. And that's pretty much all. That was what happened last time you arrived here. There was a Sam briefly tried to leave a message with the speaker who resides at the Whale's Jaw.
Right, this is where the guy who was like weird.
No, they didn't even meet the guy. They met their like second, basically.
Awkward.
Which you would recall, Ty, the person that like greeted you at the door was a massive athletic Aasimar whose wings are constantly out, if you recall.
I think I remember that, but
and they questioned you. They were like, "Hey, why you want to call a council meeting?" And you said, "Because." And they said, "Okay." And then they closed the door in your face.
I remember this. Good times.
So yes, that's where we left off. Feel free to proceed.
I don't think he was privy to that knowledge, so I'll be honest. He just didn't impress me. I would have told him.
It's not because events hadn't happened yet. We just didn't want to tell him. That's why.
Certainly, like quantum or relative reasons behind not informing him.
Zero.
All right. Well, Anything? Well, yeah. I guess you guys have just entered the town. This is one of the major cities of Zeben, so you're free to wander about.
So we've kind of reached the point where we're just kind of need to get the last speaker and then go over to let Dylan,
Yes.
Logan. What the fuck is his name?
Dylan Whisper is
Was
the
Dylan.
speaker.
Cool, I had the first one. If that's the case, then Penny would probably kind of speak up when we're trying to like get ready for the day and be like,
It is roughly midday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check.
I think we're at the point where I probably need to start looking into the device a little bit more before the meeting. I don't know when exactly it's going to happen, but I don't know also how long it's going to take me to get some more information out of this.
You're a smart cookie. It won't take long.
I'm a mouse, not a cookie.
You're a smart mouse.
When you
I
give a
like-
mouse
I
a
like
when you
cookies.
give a mouse a cookie,
What happens if I give you a cookie?
Well, I'd want a glass of milk.
Jesus.
Well, we better go get a glass of milk then.
I want to be tucked in then.
I'm sure Pat will tuck you in.
Nah.
But yeah, you gotta read me a
Oh,
bedtime
famously.
story.
It's the Mother's Day time.
yeah, the
Known for his unabashed affection.
That's
doors.
what the A in PAL stands for. Affection. Penny's affectionate lad.
But anyways, while you guys are going and maybe trying to get the speaker here, you guys said you spoke to them before? Or did you speak to someone else when you were here?
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't talk to the speaker. We just talked to one of the representatives, and then we kind
Oh,
of just
okay.
left. Yeah.
Well, maybe it might be good to check back in with them. And while you're doing that, I might go find a safe, quiet place to plop down and start looking at the device again. It's broken, so there's really no danger to me, because I don't think I even know enough to fix it if I wanted to, let alone have materials. So, should be no risk to me at the moment of it.
Do we
But-
know what like Keegan and Karth did? Like they wouldn't really be able to help, right? I think I was looking for an excuse to go see them.
Yeah, no. Karth is just a guide / mercenary / messenger for hire. Basically, yeah, he just offers his services. He's rather adept at adapting to the rough environment here, and so he often takes commissions to travel or like guide people. Sometimes he does a few hunts.
But like he probably knows people.
He knows a lot of people in other places. He actually
Yeah, that's fair.
when you remember Deshaun mentioning him once, in fact, back in Lucky Fortune.
Yeah, because I remember Karth walked over to Deshaun to take
he took
what's her face? The
Kenzie.
the traumatized person. Yeah, Kenzie.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be more specific in this campaign. But yeah, Karth has like a very approximate knowledge of most of the areas here in Zeben, but
knowledge of
yeah.
most things.
yes, but he doesn't. He's not exactly like the expert on Kardos. Keegan might. Keegan usually stays here. He's the house husband.
Okay. I want to go visit them whenever I have a chance to.
Where would be a safe place for me to pop down? Would it be in an inn, or was it
Could
There's-
be in their living room.
I'm going to respect their space
I won't.
and not drop a
Our party's
150
been
pound
great at that
artifact
recently.
in the middle of their living room and then start studying it and be like, oh yeah, don't worry, this can't blow up.
Yeah. So
As much as I would like to see Karth and Keegan, I think it might be better if I kind of study this away from other people.
That's fair.
I
So-
can see Karth and Keegan.
so yeah, there are the spaces of. There are taverns, I guess. If you want like an isolated place, you're gonna have to get creative. I guess you're gonna have to look for
Sit in the middle
someplace.
of the field.
Yeah.
I might just rent a room. 'Cause I don't have, like, I don't have anything that would hurt anybody yet. This thing's not operational in any way, in any shape or form. So I'm really just trying to get information for it. So I might just rent a room at an inn or something.
And then the Always Sunny in Philadelphia theme plays, and like it's like, hey,
And he detonates
yeah,
No one told you life was gonna be this way.
Penny summons the apocalypse on the city.
What's the worst that could happen?
Oops.
I'm gonna dip out and try and find a room.
Well,
for that.
if Sam and Pal are heading towards the speaker, they are generally located at the Whale's Jaw, which is an inn.
Oh shit, an inn.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go
These
with.
old bones could be used in a restaurant.
If you guys want
right
to
now.
check in with Keegan and Karth, we can check in at the. I can just go with Sam and Pal. 'Cause we're going to the same
Okay.
place anyways, and you guys can meet us there.
Okay.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
Okay.
And then I turned to Chris. I'm like, I wasn't listening. What are we doing?
We're going.
Where are we meeting?
What are we doing? Well, that's obvious. We're You know, I forgot.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then I turn to Kyle and go, what are we doing?
Okay.
I don't want to show up to Keegan and Karth empty-handed, so I'm gonna make them little juices.
Notice no
Because
house for gifts.
that's a hobby that I picked up since having been there last.
Sure.
I'm gonna make Keegan a regular health potion, and then Karth it's gonna have a lot of pulp in it. It's
Okay.
like noticeably more thick and textured, but
It's
I'm like
like-
they're the same thing.
It comes out like yogurt.
Yeah, I was like, it's the boba that we were talking about. There's some tadpoles in there.
Okay then. Subtract whatever money you need to from your inventory, and I'll add 2 potions of healing to your inventory.
Yeah, one has to. I'm gonna put them in a separate items though because one of them is chunky.
Very well. I'm just gonna do
You're so
this.
thoughtful, Noda. I never would have thought to make a gift.
All
We
right.
go way back.
Yeah, and you're easily able to just grab these supplies, like fresh from the market here. There's a lot of imports going and exports going in and out. You do a quick stop by the market, and you're able to make your way towards the outside. It's actually on the generally like still close to the walls, but outside of them is where Karth and Keegan's abode resides. So we'll move you to there. Penny, Sam, and Pal, you all are going to the Whale's Jaw.
Gotcha.
Generally directed towards there. Pal, with your passive perception, you noticed something that was made apparent to Sam last time. I remember because he rolled really well in a perception check when he was. I believe the roll was he just wanted to look for something. And there, you see a vulture sort of circling around the inn.
I do remember that.
And and that is apparently like suspicious to you because vultures don't really hang around populated areas.
Huh.
Generally not. But other than that, no. Like even some people like point up at it, but a lot of them would just kind of shrug and be like, "Yeah, okay, like what?" That's kind of normal to them, I guess, at this point. You enter into the Whale's Jaw. It's not too busy, but it's definitely like it's got a decent number of customers already at this time. Sam, you recognize the depressed bartender that you had a brief talk with. His name was Ikar.
He was depressed. I remember this.
Yes. And he is just sort of like moping around the bar while still filling drinks and taking orders occasionally. Nothing's blocking the stairway up. Sam, you remember the way to like the supposed suite that the speaker resides in, if need be. And what do you guys all do?
Well, I'm gonna go get a room. Start working on this. If I need to reach out to you, where about in the inns would you be, like direction-wise?
Do I do I remember? As a player, I don't. but-
You can tell like depending on the general direction. There's like a specific like section on the second floor that like gives a like a rather large room that's dedicated specifically to the speaker here. That you can be like that direction.
I'll make a mental note of that so I can message you guys later if I need
And,
to.
Penny, Fort. Okay.
Yes?
How sure are you that that isn't a problem? I was like choosing
Penny's
words
gonna-
carefully in public.
Just
Just as a-
how sure are you that isn't dangerous?
Just as a reminder,
this bomb won't go off.
as a reminder for everyone, when you guys first encountered the device, Pal told you all not to touch anything, and then Penny touched it and killed you all.
Oh,
We got
Hey, I'm
better.
not with them.
So,
Not my problem.
That's also why I'm touching it away from most people.
in a tavern, in a populated tavern.
It had a 20-foot radius.
How big
If
do you
that
think the
goes
room
through
is?
walls, that's their fault.
Not. That's the problem.
Skill issue. Skill issue.
Be better?
Well, I won't pull it out to show you, but
Good.
the runes. and
Please
everything-
don't.
The enchantment is basically gone until the runes are repaired, and I
He,
don't know how to repair
Pal
it.
wants deniability. He's like,
And that's
I didn't see it.
It's basically just a chunk of metal until it's repaired, and then it becomes
And that
dangerous
can't
again.
happen
Magic? I can't do
on
that.
accident. You can't. Okay.
You need to be very deliberate with runes if you want to be able to do something. You can't just draw on something and expect something to happen.
not yet, at least.
Okay.
It's a very intentional art. You can't just.
Yeah.
Well, some
uh,
people can, but it's usually just blind luck. It happens
you
once in a
can, you're-
million.
All
It's
right.
a Krillian.
I did meet someone who died because of it, though.
I hope not to meet a lot more soon.
Oh yeah, you were there. That's right.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyways, if anything goes weird, I'll message you.
Do that. Make sure to.
Just gonna put a tiny little thumbs up and just waddle over to the.
If Pal had blood pressure, it'd be through the roof.
Yeah.
It's literally just a hunk of metal. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, with your previous experience, during the experience to unlock your what was it, the offensive protocols, the offensive subroutines, you do recall like a sensation of having high blood pressure. You can't feel it, remember like exactly, but you do have memories of that now, of experiencing high blood pressure.
Yeah, as that conversation kind of ends, Penny's gonna walk over to the innkeep is and just kind of wait for me down, figure how much room it is, pay for it, and then go upstairs.
Yeah, you'll see this sort of hunched over, pale, almost grayish skin person with like a messily tied back ponytail just go, yeah, how can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to rent a room, at least just for the night.
Sure, that'll be 5 silver.
I converted everything in my inventory except for 5 silver.
Well,
So I'm just gonna set that number to a 0 and drop it on the counter.
there
Here you
goes.
go.
Thank you. Here's the key. It's the second room on the right once you go up the stairs.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
And then he goes
And
back
she's gonna
to tending to the bar and whatnot.
waddle up the stairs.
Every ascending step, Pal, you just like more and more memories pop in your head of like stress.
It's like a Saving Private Ryan scene. There's just like
It's like,
ears
there's
ringing.
the very moral part of it, where it's like, oh my god, all these people are innocent, and then there's the more selfish part of it, where it's like, dear Lord, we're gonna get in so much trouble if we go to the tavern.
It's gonna be
It
fine.
literally won't happen.
Yeah, luckily that won't happen, right?
Penny, can
Right?
you roll a?
Don't worry, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Don't worry. Don't you worry one bit. Sam and Pal, what are you doing? You see Penny walk up, flag down the bartender, get a room key, and then sort of hop up the stairs with a pep in her step.
All right. I'm gonna, I guess, direct Sam, but basically, like, all right, let's get our part out of the way. Let's see if we can figure out setting up this meeting with the speaker.
Since Sam was the one that you and Sam had been there recently, you're able to just sort of show yourself up the door. You see the bartender with your passive perception. You see the bartender like watch you go up the stairs, noting that you haven't been in here recently, haven't done anything, but he doesn't do anything.
Well, that's nice of him.
But
not motivated enough to handle that situation.
Sure. As you all walk up, you walk past. You see, you like as you ascend the stairs. As you reach the second floor, you see Penny closing her door already. Out of sight, out of mind. Hopefully. And before you approach the door, and before you can even reach go knock on it, or before you can take a step towards it to where you could reach it, you hear a deep voice say, "Do come in." And so I wish to preface this with this. I will give a physical description of the speaker, and then you might see that the token doesn't really match that description or vibe. Because I usually use pick crews for it, so I don't use AI art or people's art without permission usually. So okay, let me just give a description. This guy is a massive 8-foot tall minotaur. Sort of baggy pants that are tapered at the bottom to show off his massive hooves. He's wearing sort of an opened, just nothing on the upper body. There's only a vest and a pendant sort of hanging around his neck. He's very. There's a rippling muscle and also aura of power about him, but he doesn't really he doesn't seem to be equipped. He doesn't seem equipped with anything else really. And he's just sort of reclining there. He has the disposition of a very relaxed man, just sort of reclining in a chair that was clearly custom made for him due to his massive size. And he's just sort of looking straight ahead, and therefore his eyes are slightly downcast towards you.
Is he hot?
Well, let me show you this pit crew. So there aren't actually any Minotaur pit crews. However,
Upsetting.
Oh no.
there are cow pit crews.
Oh my god.
So, despite that physical description, this is the token that you'll have to use for reference.
Oh, I'm
That one.
Look at it.
Do you have links for any of the pit crews you have? Because that one's so fucking cute.
Probably.
RPG Prick Cruise on Tumblr has pretty much every single one that you would ever
Yeah.
need.
No, I use that Tumblr account. Basically, I just look for, is there anything for a Minotaur? And it's no, not really. This is all you got, unfortunately. Which I'm surprised, to be honest. But you know what?
It's so cute.
He will sort of lean back in his chair. He's leaned back in his chair. You notice that there is someone else in the room. The person that answered the door when you first knocked on it. A Asimar with pink hair, wings out. There is sort of a weapon in her hand, sort of planted on the ground, just sort of standing guard, looking straight ahead, not even making eye contact with you. And she will just statuesque almost. In front of you, there is sort of a seating area in front of this person's chair. There's a table and a couch there, and he'll sort of gestures please have a seat.
Ooh.
Fuck you. No, that's not. That's off table.
Yeah.
Have a man talking just burst out
Mortified at Sam.
Sam's just vibrating.
Sam is vibrating, and there's just sort of like, yes,
Is
indeed. The speaker is sitting. He's sitting in his custom chair that is to fit his massive form. He's sort of seated there. He's just sort of looking at you and goes,
In case Powell, take a seat.
I hear that you are the potential messengers, if my intelligence is correct.
How the
Yeah, that's right.
No. No.
He quirks an
The
eyebrow.
people you're looking for, that's not. Sorry.
I look for many
It's not
people.
beneficial.
Unfortunately, that's how you seem. That seems to be how you're being referred to by
Well aware.
many people. Not only in Margarine, in fact.
We are those messengers. We're the
And-
potential messengers.
In
Because we are
fact,
messengers something.
That doesn't
you
make
may
sense.
be chagrined to know that Lucky Fortune also has you labeled as the potential messengers.
Incredible.
Oh, would you look at that?
Go!
Document
appreciate
spoken. We are
Notice.
the potential messengers.
sure to-
7?
Try to set that one up.
67.
clearly.
Can't make more things.
This is what happens when you don't make a make a name for your party early on. This is what
It's supposed to be
happens.
a party. It just kind of.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna make us all gear that says PMS on it. Just Lucius.
All right. Name aside, do you happen to also know why we're here then?
I have an inkling, but do enlighten me if you could. I would like to double check.
All right. I'll let my companion. I'll gesture towards Sam to.
So, I'm not gonna lie, we got off on the wrong foot earlier, and I'd like to apologize for that. You see, we've stumbled upon something that, while we had a suspicion earlier about a way to stop the Blight, we had no physical, tangible evidence the last time we met, which is why I started fumbling on my words, and I apologize for that. But now, we have in our bag of holding a device gathered from a light elemental, which is guarded by a light elemental and his sand golems. What were it's just quirk to Pal. What
That's
were
not
those
a-
things?
Not a major. Flop. The light elemental's the big part, but
Whatever it could summon. It was trying to destroy it for very good reason too. It seems to have an effect on the bright blight surrounding it when it's activated, which it would explain why it's trying to destroy it. It's concerning that we have stumbled upon where did we stumble on that? Shoot, this is off the table now. I forget.
was more to the north. We'll give them all the details at the.
Either way, this device, we believe, after having inspected it, has the potential to mitigate or even completely nullify the effects of the bright blight, which is why we wanted to bring the speakers together. We had no tangible evidence beforehand, but now we have something physical to show you. Where is Penny with the thing?
She's in her room currently tinkering with it, which we will get to.
Hi.
Currently,
During this whole time, he's just been had a stoic face, looking straight ahead. His ears occasionally twitching as he's listening to you. He seems to be looking upwards, almost think in thought. And then once you're done explaining, he'll sort of lean forward and specifically at Sam, and just sort of with a questioning eyebrow raise, just go, "You said that you had slighted me in a past interaction. When was that? I've never seen nor heard of you before the name Potential Messengers began going around."
Slighted you? Less so me. You in reference to your bodyguard. We met your bodyguard previously.
Yeah, she will nod at that and be like, that would be me, sir. This lad wasn't, didn't have any really reason. I didn't see fit to bother you with information. I thought he was a prankster at some point. Some contraption sent to bother us, so I sent him away.
Which is why I apologize for the earlier interaction. I fumbled on my words and it didn't get my message across.
She shrugs and goes, sure. Then the speaker, Teelan, as you've been informed, will sort of recline, lean his head back, and go, if I may, he turns to Pal, actually, and goes, may I speak with you privately? I can assure you nothing will be done to your companion. In fact, Tylo, if he requires anything, do entertain our guest.
Gonna run that obligatory bodyguard insight check.
On who?
Before both, just so you know, but I'll start out with that statement. Just that.
Okay.
The whole, does he believe everything will be fine once I?
Sure. Go ahead and make an insight check.
25.
And let me roll either persuasion or deception, and this should be hidden, I think. Yeah, private GM. Cool. Okay. Rolled a nat 1. So not only do you get that he fully believes that statement, fully intends that statement, you actually get a glimpse into the purpose behind it. He doesn't like Sam. Doesn't like the disposition of Sam, and above board, he doesn't generally like people with chaotic alignments.
Oh.
No, he's not gonna like a lot of our party.
No, he would not. If you had all come here as a party, this would have been a bit of a different interaction. But because you have an even amount of chaotic and lawful, it evens out. Good for you.
It is
Yeah, I'm glad I branched off. It would have made this a lot worse.
Do I just have like a chaotic ooze around me? How did he pick
you
that up?
are not only he did his own insight check when you guys entered, and also
insight, they can get a general feel for your alignment.
they can get a general feel for alignment,
to act how you want
values,
your character to be perceived.
Yes. Well, not only did he do an insight check, the bartender actually did. When he caught eye with you, he signaled to Teelan earlier.
There's a weird fucker coming upstairs.
Yeah, basically. Like, yeah, if the leader of your town is upstairs and you see some weirdos going up there, you're like, yeah, he's gonna press the alarm button underneath the bar. Like, what? Do you think he didn't care? He's just not a fighter.
You're also literally aligned as chaotic evil right now, Ty. So.
Yeah. Just want to remind you that you are the chaotic evil party member.
What was
So
the last evil thing? Strictly evil. I got a guy killed.
Strictly evil.
yeah.
To be fair, I just wanted to thwart his
You
plans.
paralyzed the man and then tased him to death.
Yeah, had him tased to death by then you almost blew up your party members out of curiosity.
That was an accident.
Okay, but what would a neutral person?
I'd say a chaotic person would do that, not necessarily an evil person. Just someone who just didn't think about the consequences of their actions while tinkering with a crossbow.
See, that's what
He's not chaotic evil. He's chaotic stupid.
Yeah, chaotic. I put chaotic stupid in the same category as chaotic evil because I don't have time to make that three-dimensional
I
alignment chart.
Yeah.
But yes, he will gesture to the side room, like almost like the personal bedroom that he was tried in, and you notice that he does when he stands up, his heavy footsteps just doom, doom, doom. But he's there in like a couple of strides, and he does have to bend over to get through the doorway.
I will stand up to follow him, but before I leave, I'd like to insight check his bodyguard, just
Sure.
general intentions.
Absolutely. Make an insight check.
24.
Jesus.
Hard to get a read. This is a sort of like game recognized game where like if this is like someone serious about their job, there doesn't seem to be like any intention, like hidden intentions.
As long as they seem serious about their job, then their
Yeah.
job's to keep him safe right now, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah. This is very. There is like a brief moment of eye contact where like it's like, oh, you're the bodyguard for. Okay, cool. Like there's like almost like a slight nod, just like, yeah.
All right, and yeah, I will follow the speaker into this side room.
The speaker like leads you into the side room, closes the door.
I'm
You'll
trying
know-
to get him to play a minor illusion game of chess, by the way.
There's the bodyguard Captain Tylo will sort of just stride forward a bit and look at like over your shoulder almost and be like there's almost like there's a brief moment where it's like almost like she wanted to sit down and play with it, and she's like, oh, it's an illusion, of course, right? Oops.
She can just call things out.
Yeah. Unprofessional, so she goes back to her post. Pal, it is you and Teelan in a room. Teelan will go over to a shelf and sort of pull out pull out a bottle and pour himself a drink in a glass that was resting on a drawer on a dresser. Sort of take a small sip of it before going. Most of what you described to me, I was already aware of. In fact, I strongly believe, and I also strongly believe that a possible ally of yours, Dylan Whisper, is also aware that there is various threats encroaching upon these lands. And it is with heavy heart that I do think there's an unfortunate circumstance that has happened recently. I imagine you came up from Margarine, I'm aware, and you may have met the speaker there, the newly appointed speaker, who is unfortunately inexperienced and newly appointed right before a time of, dare I say, crisis. I believe it would be in the best interests of both you, I, and everyone that we wish to keep safe. I don't mean, he stops for a moment and thinks, I don't mean to send you to politically assassinate or sabotage him. Merely if you could try and get him to temporarily step down and possibly convince the former speaker or a more experienced political candidate to take up the position.
Wouldn't mind checking in with them.
The reason why I ask,
Understand.
Margarine is a very important position in Sebin's community, and I don't trust him. I believe in the strength of his character and in his physical skills themselves, of course. I heard that there is a brief squabble in one of the nearby mines that he's going to deal with. I fully believe he could handle that no problem. However, whether it be through words or through violence even, he's a perfectly capable warrior. However, he's not fit to lead us through this crisis, and if he remains in that position, I fear I will not be able to commit many resources towards your cause, as they will instead be dedicated towards supporting me and mine.
Would it be enough if I let you know? We briefly stepped through there. He does currently have the former speaker acting as his essentially mentor.
Yes,
He is the one in official power, but they are both able to collaborate on matters.
I am aware of that, yes, but the problem is that at the end of the day, the one who wields the authority is him. And that is very dangerous, I think. I cannot in good conscience sacrifice resources or materials for anyone until I'm confident with the strength and fortitude of our allies. In fact, the election was actually held roughly a week ago, and this threat that we come to face has become more and more apparent a couple weeks ago, actually. if Lucky Fortune's intelligence is anything to gauge by. And I personally sent my bodyguard Tylo to be a candidate there, actually, and the specific instructions were to generate a cabinet of locals and those who are experienced in different fields, a really diverse cabinet, and they would simply be in charge of the tough decisions that would need to be made in a crisis. And unfortunately, they had lost the election due to the support of the former speaker to Mr. Paddle, as it were. It's a unfortunate circumstance, but if you can convince Paddle to either secede his position temporarily to either Tylo or the former speaker for only the duration of the crisis, I feel like it could be resolved in a matter of months, even. That would be taken. I'm not asking you to commit assassination of any kind. While I do not care strongly how you get the results, I would prefer the non-violent solutions.
Okay. Must ask if there's any option or route through proving the current speaker's character. You have to understand what you're asking of us.
I'm not doubting his character. In fact, I've met the young man several times.
Then rather character aptitude to withhold during this situation.
It is because of that experience I have with him that I do not trust his aptitude to handle the crisis. And if you were to do this for me, I would not only contribute my resources to the cause, I would consider you and the potential messengers themselves as an ally, and I do my best to take care of my allies.
Alright. We'll certainly look through and check on the situation. This is admittedly outside of our party's depth. We are significantly more oriented towards the more physical side of
Kill things real good.
Have a face who is hated by the public.
No.
A face who is the enemy of the society.
With the enemy of the state face.
He nods and goes, if your party is more physically oriented, then maybe a show of your power to demoralize him could be possible. Maybe make him doubt his own prowess, if only temporarily.
Damn, it's
To
fucked
a
up.
duel. He's asking for a duel. An Agni Kai. We have to fucking kill him. No, we don't.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see what we can do. I can promise no results, considering the, how should I say, depth of this. As much as we'd love to be recognized as your own allies, we need to be careful about who we make as potential enemies. So,
I understand, and I do believe I can trust you to keep the conversation request under wraps, even if you choose to deny it. I'll hold no personal
not much I
grudge
can
against
absolutely
you.
Guarantee you.
And as I said, I will hold no grudge against you. However, just understand that I will have to withhold resources for the sake of my responsibilities.
Understandable fully.
And then he will
I
set
assure
his
you I'll
glass.
make an attempt at this. At least bring it up with the rest of our party to see what the direction we choose is, but it won't get out. This will not be a conversation that leads into the public.
He'll give a nod. And he'll say, he will reach into his pocket and hand you a stone with an inscription on it and say, this is a sending stone with it's a primitive sending stone. It has a few charges in it that you can contact Tyler with. Do be mindful of it. Simply an affirmative or negative to the response is all that is necessary. They are aware of this request themselves.
All right.
And then he'll set his glass down and open the door for you to walk through and guide you back out. you see Sam partway through a chess game by himself, and you see Tylo just like for a moment, just sort of like stretching her neck and sort of tilting her head to get like a better look at all the moves that Sam is making. But as soon as you guys exit, back to like statuesque posture.
I love it.
And just sort of just like you hear a brief sigh behind your back because he did notice. But he'll say, "Thank you once again for bringing your message. I appreciate the efforts you go through for these deserts, potential messengers. I hope to hear back from you shortly. I'm sure Mr. Whisper is aware that I'm going to the council meeting, but you can have it in. You can have your own account of me agreeing to go."
Thank you very much. That'll keep
He'll
things easy on.
You'll give a nod, a slight bow, and then Tylo will go to the door, open it, and gesture you all to leave.
All right. If Sam doesn't stand up, then I will.
He stands up, you know,
okay.
his little, and like the chessboard disappears.
There's a yep. You do that. Chessboard just pops out of existence. Sam stands up, and you two people with heavy footsteps that definitely are similar to Speaker Teelan's own heavy footsteps. Leave the suite of the speaker. Penny, while this whole conversation is happening, what are you doing?
Okay, so when I get in my room,
Okay.
take my hat off. So I don't like wearing
Okay.
my hat indoors.
Okay.
Shake some sand out of my robes, get kind of comfortable. I'm gonna pull and reach into the bag of holding. I'm first gonna pull out my big book.
Okay.
I'm gonna set it down open.
And then my
I'm gonna
smoke.
pull out my little. I'm gonna pull out of my pocket my little notebook that I
Yeah.
use for my personal spell casting. Set it down the other side,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna pull out the giant device, which I can barely fucking lift. So I'm just gonna kind of like tip the bag over and reach in and kind of like shovel it out gently.
It's sort of like
the bag will do most of the work until it's out
yeah,
of it.
yeah. It's sort of like when you tip over like a box that has something you can't pick out. Like you just sort of like tip it over and just kind of shake, like move it side to side, slowly shaking it out.
Come on,
Yeah.
come on.
And it does come out just like it's sliding out ever so smoothly. You're like, oh, this is going nice and easy. And then once it finally reaches like the last part reaches the lip, it just goes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of set it up on its stand properly.
In
And then
fact,
I'm going
hold
to
on a second.
examine-
Oh god.
Yeah, you hear like a slight creak of the floorboards beneath you. Just.
Probably have to pay for that on the way out. I'm looking down at the floorboards. Are they scratched at all?
No. You take a step near one and it's like, yeah, that one's just creaking from tension, it seems.
Well, I'm going to stand up properly and then just
Okay.
kind of, I want to examine the full extent of the damage done to it.
Okay.
I know that we knew that one, basically, I don't know where my notes for this were, but I know that we basically, one of them got... Might need repair, blah, 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 blah. One of the rings I know was damaged specifically.
Yes, so so the way this device works is that there seems to be an arcane sphere laden with many different runes and enchantments on it, and surrounding them, almost like in a gyroscope-esque sort of appearance, are various rings made out of enchanted Olmeron. Almost purified Olmeron. I believe the notes that you saw from Meredith is that he was basically creating the inverse of it.
Yes, he was going on off the sign he saw in Noxon Mythalar.
Yes.
Very similar, not the same, but similar. And I don't know, I didn't have it in my inventory, but I found a book in his lab of his research journal. Do I still have that on me? I probably would have taken that with me if I thought it was
You
important,
did, and
but...
that's where you found the notes of the Mythalar and the mention of Noxon Khan.
Okay, awesome. So I already have that information.
Yeah, yeah. But you took it with you in case there's anything else in it or whatever.
Yeah, the note that I have is that it's the yin to its yang. Like
Yeah.
this device is the complementary opposite. Of...
The device itself isn't. The material that it requires is.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, the device itself is. You could probably outfit it with Omeron, and it would have some sort of effect. Maybe even a similar one, but just not one that was desirable according to Meredith.
Okay. And then I'm going to kind of examine the runes on the device.
Okay.
And then
what are you looking
paging
for?
Through the later books, the later pages of the large spell book.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's something I don't understand, I'm looking for similar symbols, similar structures. Like anything that, even if I don't understand what it is currently, it's related.
Okay, yeah.
It's gonna be harder the deeper I go into the book, because the back, it was sitting on its back in the bog, so the back of it's completely waterlogged and molded.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Well, actually, if you're just playing matching, this would just be a regular intelligence check.
But it's matching specifically for magic?
No, it's just matching. You're doing
I'm doing it really coolly.
Oh, in that case, add a 20 to that. Sure.
Okay. Just trying to get my proficiency bonus.
Yeah, take your proficiency bonus.
Damn, this dice hates me. 15 total.
15 total. So you're looking for, like, in the later entries of the book, like, is there anything that, like, matches or piques your curiosity or whatever? And it's interesting. So the way that many books work is that the further back the entries tend to actually be the newer entries if you're using the book in a civilized manner. And it's actually, you find a couple of matches in the closer to the front of the book in what would be considered the older entries of it. The ones that are less damaged, in fact.
Okay.
There's occasional runes of what, like, you look around this device, you look for, like, things such as, like, power source, and use, like, some sort of, like, powering rune or power source, and you assume, like, where that would normally fit, that's where you see some of the runes and inscriptions sort of match up between the two.
Okay. So I'm going to make a note of that in my little notebook.
Yeah.
With that in correlation.
And then, let me see, let me pull up the notes for this. You find, there are some parts of the big book that you have, like, understood or decoded at least slightly, and you find the thing about Penelope Winthrop is that she uses some very archaic magic, despite coming from despite her origin. She has that is very, like, magically inclined. You're actually using very archaic and old-fashioned magic.
Yes.
And from your understanding, you're able to be like, okay, there's actually there's different variations of runes that you attribute to abjuration magic that you can see. Let's see, what else can I give with a 15? I think that's all you can get with a 15, I think.
And the abjuration seems like a newer form that I'm not familiar with?
No, it's actually a form that's actually similar to whatever abjuration spells you have in your spell book that you've drawn inspiration from for your own spells from the big book. It's like, oh, this is a form of abjuration magic, it seems.
Okay. Okay. And then in the bag of holding,
Yes.
we didn't mark them as such, but is the one of the javelins? I think I don't know where I got it from. Are the javelins in the bag of holding the Olmeron ones, or does someone else have those?
I think we gave them to you.
I spread them out, but I think when I got the bag of holding, I think I took them back. I don't remember.
I feel like I also threw mine at someone, but
You go and pick
I
it up?
retrieved it.
okay. So that
Yeah.
sounds like something I would do, but
Did you say
Uh,
I
javelin?
didn't know when that happened. and I
Pal
just-
currently has well, you should have
Sounds
only
like I
have.
two.
Yeah, I think you
thought.
should only have one at this point.
I have a javelin in my.
Yeah, so the Omeron javelins actually weren't given to you, Penny. They're on the on person right now. I'm going to delete one of them from your inventory, Pal, because we should only have one.
We had 3 total, and I was carrying 2 of them.
Yeah, yeah, and then Pal used one for his offensive subroutine unlock.
Yes. So then I'm going to, if I don't have any on me, then I'm just going to kind of hold my necklace
Okay.
next to the device. Is there any sort of... Well, first, I'm going to play safe.
All right.
I'm going to ritual cast detect magic to see if there's anything on this device still active before I start fiddling with it.
Yeah, with the tech magic, absolutely. There's something still active. The arcane core that has all these various enchantments on it that seem to be like just swirling and mixing together. That's always been active. That was Meredith's work. That was always active. On the rings themselves, the undamaged ones, yes, there's still some abjuration magic that's still active. Some evocation magic that's still active. Let me see. And there is a faint outline of transmutation magic around them as well.
Trans, Evo, Ab, still active.
Obviously, on the broken ring, there's only remains a slight transmutation magic still present there, but
Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of like... I know that Olmeron, at least in my studies of it, seems to respond well to necrotic magics.
You don't know, actually. The point of going to, I believe, the library was to figure out what's the in Grimazon was to figure out the deal with Olmeron. But you guys,
I did get when we were in I have a note here. When we in the abandoned shack, I did get a note from the journal that said that Olmeron, in its base form, seems to amplify necrotic energy.
yes.
Unless Meredith was misled about how that works. That was the information I got from him.
That is correct. That's the information. That is one of the notes I got from Meredith. Yes. Yeah, and I remember I'm just gonna re-going over my notes of what I got from Meredith. I know that this thing was somehow attuned to the concept or the plane, if it actually is a physical place, of the cold. Not exactly. Go and make an Arcana check. Go make an Arcana check because you actually never like really investigated that connection, if I recall in my notes.
I just know that it's somehow related.
Yes.
God, fucking Arcana.
Yes.
13.
Okay, so when you guys you never found like any sort of connection, and it kind of lies more in the realm of the divine and in the primal magics. Arcane magic doesn't really deal much with the cold unless it's pulling from it. When it goes to going to it, it's a bit weird. But you are with a 13. I can confirm for you, the device itself is not connected to the cold. Not specifically. It's not like this. I can feel a connection to the cold from this device.
Gotcha. Where is my notes after with Sean?
Sure.
Oh, there it is. About Algal.
You don't take notes.
Yeah, based on what I know currently, I don't think I'll be able to get. So, the material that this is made out of. Is there any? I know from at least from my notes, it doesn't seem that there was any specific description of what it is, because this was kind of made hastily on the fly, and that's why his partner left. Because he was kind of ignoring some stuff.
It was his partner. His partner left because they actually weren't seeing much progress at all until
Gotcha.
Meredith made a breakthrough and developed this material.
Does he have descriptions of his breakthrough in his journal?
His description in his breakthrough, specifically, no. There are some inclinations, like there are some ponderings and some like it must lie somewhere. I mean, like it's creating almost like the inverse. Creating the inverse for Omeron, and there's like sort of thoughts that trail off to like, I wonder where it came from, or what is the opposite of this, like what he's trying to look for that.
If
But
I understand more about that, I might get more.
Yes.
About this. Okay. Yeah, Penny's just kind of like frustratedly, like kind of slam her head in her book, and just kind of roll on the floor a bit, trying to get her blood moving so she thinks better.
I think better face down on the floor.
I think better if I roll around like a corn on the cob in the wind.
What?
So true, so true.
Wait, what?
Algal.
Why is a corn cob in the wind?
There's nothing I have here
I
that
know
ties
what
us
it
to
is, but
Algal.
why?
But Algal, we only
The only mention you found of Algal, I believe, was in the mausoleum.
The mausoleum, and then I went to Deshawn and found a scroll off a natural 20.
Yes.
But that just gave me the history of the god itself, not anything about what it could be. What is... So Nox Uncod.
Yes.
I'm going to ritual cast comprehend languages. If it's a name, could I at least understand its origin? Like if I sat and stared at it long enough. Like is it Dwarvish? Is it Elvish? Is it older?
Does comprehend languages tell you what the language is, or does it just allow you to read
Meaning, you understand any written language you see, but you must be touching the surface. It doesn't specifically say that.
Okay. So if the name translates into something, then you would be able to know it to a degree.
I would be able to know its true meaning.
Yeah. It simply translates to Nox Uncod.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn, on COD.
Yeah, Uncod. And I'm trying to see. I'm looking at my notes on Algal. So, what were your notes on Algal? Just.
I know that he was described as a great turtle.
Yes.
That he was disgust incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
And that in the time when the gods were battling, he kind of waded through it, kind of eroding the battlefield, and was eventually tried to retreat and was put to the brink of destruction before he was saved by a gift from the sky, an eye aspect. I don't know if that's the person who gave it to it.
Yeah, you don't know what. Yeah, you weren't able to identify what eye aspect means.
And then he took the blessing and fled from the battlefield instead of rejoining the fight to his quote isolated palace.
Yes.
And that's the extent of my notes. Besides the fact that the crypt we were in. God, my handwriting was awful back then. My handwriting's actually been getting better. Hey, yo, progress.
Hey, yo.
Love to see it.
The crypt we were in, I don't know if I knew its original origin, by Aya Anor.
Yeah.
The fact that it's those that were resting there, and where I found mention of Algal, that the bodies that were resting there and the guardian that was forcing them to animate and fight/defend This was not the original point of the crypt.
Yeah,
It was meant to be a place for us
the
not to be offended.
the guardian you fought and the general crypt itself came from 2 different eras.
Yes. So I think me as Penny may have tried to connect those two, but I just don't see the bridge yet. Corvin would have been a really good place to hit, because I might have been able to connect some of this shit. But too bad he's being stupid and dramatic and an idiot.
Sure.
And then Vern's not connected to any of this. He's his own thing. Wait, where did I get the amulet of Vern? I got it from the Dwagar, right?
Amulet of Vryn. You got that from the Dwagar at the abandoned ship.
I heard that name. No, I didn't hear that name
You didn't hear that name.
beforehand.
Yeah. And you'd made a religion check, and you just barely got a high enough check to determine what the symbol was. Basically, you were able to identify that it's Vryn, but
Yes, and that they're
you skipped
known as a clan
religion.
of despots. That's kind of all I got.
Yeah, you know that Vryn itself is not a clan of despots, but the Dwargar refer to themselves as despots. Whatever you can make of that. Penny's like last minute, she's like, "Oh shit, we're finishing. We got to put together a PowerPoint presentation for the project."
Basically,
we gotta put together a presentation. Okay, you guys present slides. I'll do the intro. You guys do slide.
yeah, because the Mythalar itself, from what I can understand, was a weather machine by its original design that he based it off of.
Yes, he designed
it. Was meant to make things, at least based on Meredith's notes, warmer.
It was designed. He saw his theory was that it was original intent and design was to basically make the most just moderate climate possible. So not warmer, not colder, just like pure 60, 70 degrees out. Clear skies, sort of deal.
He planned to kind of inverse that to create an extreme, so that way he could bring back night by forcing.
He was trying to basically negate all weather.
That's what it was. Yes.
He's trying to. His goal was, I'm going to create something that just creates an anti-weather zone.
Yeah, Penny's just going to once again, after having some sort of thought, sitting up, perusing through all of her various papers that are now all over the floor. You cannot walk in this room without stepping on a piece of paper. And she's just kind of face plant back into the big book again, get a nice good old whiff of mold, and just kind of groan and wish that she could ask Vinali about something. Fortunately, though, his ass is hundreds of miles away, and she wouldn't even know what to ask, because she doesn't know what she doesn't know.
Yeah. Do you remember what we talked about in Discord DMs?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
And
so
if you want to take this as her involuntarily casting,
yeah, you could be just absolutely. If you want to spend that, you can, just out of pure frustration.
Yeah, this is her just being like, I wish I could do this thing, and then, oops, forgot that you had latent powers, idiot.
Stupid.
Stupid.
But yeah, if you so desire, you may.
So she's just kind of face plant in the book and just kind of remember the times where she would, if she got confused on something when she was helping decode the book for Vinali, that she could always go to him and he would, in a very roundabout and esoteric way, because he likes to be a shithead about it sometimes.
Absolutely.
Give her the answer.
And yeah, so you just so out of frustration, you just face plant this big book, and you're just sort of on yourself, just blah, 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 and then somehow accidentally incurring a magical effect in the book. But you're still face planted it. When you lift your face up, you're no longer face planted in the book, but in this shadowy mind space. and at the edges of it, you can't look directly at him, but you see the misty outline of Vinali there. Sort of a not even exactly Vinali, not how you remember seeing him, but almost like a sort of illusioned version of what he might have used to look like, if you could imagine it. If you would like to describe Vinali's appearance right now, actually.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me get that page. Where did I put his description? So Vinali, at first glance, just looks like a medium-sized humanoid, a bit on the lithe side, maybe a little too skinny. None of his physical features are really apparent, but he does have sort of kind of shoulder-length white hair, and just kind of these eyes that just kind of shift between a couple different colors. And he just kind of sits, no visible features besides like his eyes, hair, and general body shape. And he just kind of sits across from Penny and just kind of staring. If you didn't know him, it would seem like coldly and judgingly, but it's very much just kind of openly inviting someone to like ask or prod.
Sort of
willing to lend a hand, but
almost
not easy about it.
Like a teacher, or almost like grandfatherly pose, slightly.
Yes, absolutely.
So he's just you'll look up and you'll see him for a moment, and he'll just give you a nod. His eyes right now a sort of purple that reflects your cloak and hat. And you'll just hear him say, "Hello, dear child."
Mr. Vinali. Oh, how did you...
It took you long enough to communicate with me. I figured you'd solve that one after some time. I tried to give you some hints, but alas, you must have been preoccupied.
And he's gonna look down at the book and just kind of think for a second how the fuck should
Yes, I was
that.
literally thinking the
Okay, I think I know how... That's not the point. Do you have a moment? You're here, yeah. Okay, sorry. I was not expecting this. I'm a little frazzled at the moment. You might be able to tell. And if I look around, do I still see all my papers, or are we like full in this mindscape?
You are in a full mindscape.
Okay.
He's not in any way visible to... He would be in no way visible to the outside world.
Okay, then Penny is going to kind of look around there and be like, well, on my... Shit.
I told you to work on your memory, dear Penelope.
It's just much easier if I write things down. It's
yes,
I get frazzled when I get thinking.
The act of writing it down should help engrave it in your memory, not just physically.
I got some of it, the vague details. So,
Do share, yes.
I got more stuff out of the book. I can do, and do I have my bag of holding on me in here?
You do? Yeah, you do.
Then I'm going to reach out and do my barrels in a monkey trick, or monkeys in a barrel.
You.
Where?
Yeah.
Barrels in a monkey.
These are my bomb monkeys.
Yeah. You lift up the flap, and even though it's like you can't really influence it physically, but so the flap just sort of like you think about like, oh, I'm gonna do the barrels and monkey trips, and the flap in your bag of holding immediately pulls open, and you guys just sort of jump out, all as like one arm hooked onto the other, sort of deal.
And Penny's gonna do like a little pose, being like trying to show off a little bit.
It was very good. Took some time, but you got there. Yes. Good job.
I still think I'm doing it wrong because they tend to scream really loudly.
Yeah. No. And he's like,
well, that at that point, and also when I do it, like it feels like I'm cooking them alive, even if they're dead. Does that make sense?
I could see that. Yes, I do. I don't believe that should be any issue, though. You're just animating the dead already. They're already dead, dear.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, it's just a little uncomfortable for other people, but they'll get over it.
Yes, there's a lot of things that make people uncomfortable. For some people, it's veggies. For others, it's undead.
I am not that fond of broccoli. Makes sense. Anyways, this is John. This is Jacob. This is Jingleheimer. Just do quick introductions.
I'm glad you've kept your amusing naming convention.
It's easier to remember when they have funny names. It's like you told me to work on my memory, and this is one way that helps me.
You could also try writing them down.
Penny's gonna look at her notebook and realize she had not written down any of their names. Be like, I'll do that later. But I guess the real reason I might have called you here, and because
Don't
we're
tell
kind of in,
me.
like, a mind
Did you not
space-
actually solve this? Was this an accident? Penelope, was this an
did.
accident?
No, it wasn't an accident. I for sure did this on purpose. This was all me.
Are you sure? I've been giving you your space and privacy ever since you requested, so I'm not entirely aware of what's going on outside the tone. So I can't do
Okay,
much to
well then-
assist you.
Quick catch up then.
Alright.
We're in Tenon.
Who is
Ryan
we?
was-
Is we just you and
Oh,
your
God,
pets?
You haven't caught up with anything. Okay. So I'm with a few other people now.
He leans
and then-
forward like dangerously, just like, who are you with right now, Penny?
Right in this current moment, I'm alone in a room, I think.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Just smash cut to everyone look at Penny face down in her book.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
And well, I met up with a group of people. I think we have a name now.
Good people
potential
or
mission.
bad people?
I like to think they're good. We've done some good things.
Penelope,
As
you
you
are astoundingly smart, but you are a poor judge of character.
Maybe? I'm getting better. People are teaching me things.
Mm-hmm.
But there's Noda. She's like kind of little, kind of like me, but then she can get really big and she get really strong.
Okay.
There's Gris. She's nice. She's cool. She always likes to help out. She does say some weird things from time to time that makes me question her.
Weird how?
That's some really sad things.
It's kind of like weird and sad, where she says something and then you realize that she spent her whole life thinking that was normal.
That's
You know?
you'd do best to be wary of her then, I think.
She also kind of is really good with a bow and a sword, like really good.
He's like adopting a more worried like look on his face, like
Then there's the metal boys. There's Sam and then there's Pal.
metal boys.
Oh yeah, one's I think the term is auto-gnome.
Not familiar with that kind of
I
construct.
didn't think you would be. And then the other one is I've only ever heard the term Warforged, but it doesn't really explain what he is.
Oh yes, that's. Do you know what model of Warforged it is? Is it a sentinel or a scout or?
Oh shit! I have notes on Pal. Did I write down what I got when I looked inside your fucking soul?
You do not, and you wouldn't know the answer to this.
Rank and file design.
And goes.
That's all I got. I don't know the specific name. I just know it's rank and file.
It's like, now, Penelope, I'm more than willing to assist you in whatever you're trying to solve, but if you could do something to ease my mind, when given the chance, could you identify some form of collateral for all these individuals, just for my sake?
Penny's gonna kind of tilt her head like collateral.
Yes, identify the most valuable thing to them. Either it could be a person, an item, a place. Just find what they truly value, simply for my sake, so that should they turn out not to be good people, I can ensure your safety.
And you just kind of look down for a bit and think.
There would be a gift in it for you if you accomplish this.
I guess that makes sense. I think I have the answer for one of them, at least currently.
Oh,
Noda really likes her frog.
goes
Fucking snitch.
very
Shiver
well.
going down Noda's spine right now.
You like, there's a moment like you're just holding like Terrence in your hands, and you just hear him like sort of shiver a bit, like in the warm temperature, and he's just.
Francie, are you okay? Oh, I hold him closer.
And then
He
I
goes,
think
okay, a
for
pet.
Pal, it's Sam.
Is this a mutual, or is it a toxic, one-sided sort of relationship for them?
I feel like it's really Pal is super codependent on Sam to really kind of give him purpose in his life, and it's not really healthy for Pal. And I'm just kind of hoping that he grows out of it.
Well, for now, we can use that to our advantage. Should the need come to it, well, if they're as good people as you say, then then I do also hope the best for him.
It probably won't. The only one I'm kind of worried about is Sam.
Oh,
It does seem to just kind of do things. It's mostly harmless. I did watch
Mostly.
the two of them tase a guy to death when he couldn't fight back.
well, did they initiate it, or is it in self-defense?
Yeah, they put a hole the size
Thank
of.
God.
Oh,
for
that's
the important
he's
questions.
like
They deserve it.
yeah, he's if
He
they
walks in painting it like we just murdered right
he
now in the
goes,
back alley.
they did.
It was deserved. He was a cunt.
There was like
Cunt.
he just sort of shrugs this like, okay, then that's perfectly fine. Then if the creature deserved to be how you described tased to death, then that is perfectly fine.
Okay.
Humanely.
But those are the only two that I kind of got off the top of my head.
Do
Sam and Chris
do
are
try
a
to
little bit more aloof,
pick their
so-
try to pick their brains. Again, it is for once you have brought collateral for all of them to me, I might put together a little gift, because I know that you're being the person you are, this may not be something you're used to.
It's a little uncomfortable, yeah.
You will be rewarded, Penelope. You'll be just fine. Like I said, it's to put my mind at ease. Ever since you requested that I give you privacy and space, I can no longer watch over you constantly.
Which I appreciate when you did that, but I just like being on my own.
I perfectly understand. It is the goal of every wizard to achieve some level of independence. Independence from what can vary, but independence is a very strong drive.
Tenny's gonna just kind of look down and just kind of sit in those words. And then just kind of pop right like, oh, right! The whole reason I called you! Oh my god.
He's like, oh look,
So
he looks at it like he looks at a non-existent watch. He's like, oh, we're out of time then. I suppose we're
just real quick.
Yeah.
Nox Uncod, Mythalar,
Oh, God.
Ulmaron. Any of these words mean anything to you?
Thanks back for a second. Let's see. He goes, he's like, let me actually roll a quick check.
Is what he says.
Okay. He goes, well, Mythalar, that's rather mundane weather machine from back in my day. If I had to hazard a guess, yeah, that's what it was. Nox and Cod. Don't get me started on those pretentious assholes.
Okay, that's. Could you maybe get a little started?
Oh, they were very. How'd you say it? They likely had their wizard staffs. Wait, you're too young. Never mind. That's a bad analogy.
Where did they put their wizard staffs, Benali?
Never mind that. I'll tell you when you're older, child. They were very pretentious, I'll say. The last I saw of them was when they were, or I didn't even see them, mind you. I wanted to steer clear of them. They were the very. They thought very highly of themselves simply because of their positions, and that was reflected when they decided to launch their city into the sky. They had a
Oh,
yeah, they had
that's information.
they had a flying city of some sort, and it's all the more funny that their hubris brought them crashing down. I wish I was there to see that, mind you. If I saw, I wouldn't mind being in their proximity to see that, but alas, such entertainment is just fickle, I suppose.
If you were going to be in proximity to see it crash down, about where on this, and Penny is going to, I'm going to see if I can do some mind space thing here.
Sure.
I'm going to try and pull up a map
Yeah,
front of him.
in the mind space, you can create images like you would with Minor Illusion, but only in the mind space visible to you in Vanali.
Yeah, I'm going to create a very rough map of Seaben. Like, basically just based on where we've been traveling and what I know. So there'll be blank spots that I just haven't been to.
He's kind of like, look at it for a moment. He's like, could you, I don't know, zoom, take a look at the bigger picture for me? I don't know exactly what I'm looking at here.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to zoom out and give an even rougher picture of Tenon.
Okay.
I've seen this in very rough
He's
maps.
like, oh, okay, so I know where this is. Yes, it would be somewhere over here, and it'll just sort of gesture to the area that is Steven. If you're looking for the coordinates, my dear, I'm afraid that I'm not a location device.
Well,
Or
the information you just gave me was really helpful. It confirms a couple things that I've been thinking.
Well, I do look forward to seeing the results, then.
And then I guess one quick final one before you get out of here. I know you like your rest. She's gonna hold up the Omeron necklace, like specifically the stone, pointing to the stone of it. And like, have you ever seen anything like this before?
He's gonna look from him. He's like, I mean, it's quite hard to examine it in this form. I can tell it's some sort of magical material, but it's not one I instantly recognize. No.
It's I have a little bit of info on it that might jog your memory. This is Omeron.
Omeron.
We've been finding bits and pieces of it around here, and as far as I understand, this can be used in a number of magical applications, but I don't exactly know how.
There's Omeron. That was... What was that? I feel like I know that name, Omeron, but it wasn't ever used to refer to material. If I certainly know metal like this, he just sort of like lackadaisically gestures to us like that doesn't quite ring any bells, but certainly familiar.
Originally a name of metal.
Yes, I don't know what Omeron was called before whatever this is in front of me, but maybe it was something else. Again, I tried to stay clear of this area because of pretentious troops such as Nox on Cod.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I would probably do too. They seem kind of stinky.
Oh, they
Not
were...
like in a stinky way that Griss is. Griss is kind of like a good stinky.
He was about to agree with you, like, oh, they were rancid beyond... And then you, like, interrupt with Griss, he's like, which one was Griss again?
She was the...
Is she the sad one?
Kind of. She's really happy, but the things she says makes you worry about her life growing up. And I don't know if that's just me reading into things, or
could be
if that's just kind of what's happened and how she talks.
Regardless, I still hope you do find some collateral for her.
I'll try. And Penny looks a little uncomfortable at that prospect, but trusts that it might go to a good cause. It hasn't led her astray yet.
Yeah. And it'll be like, is there anything else, dear? As much as I would love to absolutely invest myself in your adventures, part of giving you space is part of letting go and letting you learn at your own pace. I'd rather not solve this puzzle for you. I hope you understand.
Well, that takes the fun out of it.
That's
Um,
exactly what I'd say.
No, I think that's it. Oh, actually, there's one. I nearly forgot about this, and she's going to kind of conjure
He's
into
like,
the mind space.
I've been telling you to work on your memory, Penelope.
We're working. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. This was a while ago, and a lot of things have happened since then. And she's going to materialize Bert.
You should have seen that doctor when I told you to back in Cravendale.
It's fine.
What?
You weren't gonna do anything anyways. It would have been a waste of money. And she's gonna materialize Bert in his rat form in his hand. Does he materialize as a rat, or does he materialize as that soul that I saw get yanked into the book?
He materializes as a rat.
Okay. A while ago, we all kind of died.
And he goes, he's like, oh, okay. Yes, I'm familiar with the experience, yes.
But when I was separated from my body, I saw Bert. You know, the first kind of like undead guy that I made.
Yes, the one that we made together. You procured the physical components, and I procured the arcane ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. There was a real soul in there. Not like one of the artificial ones that I made for John Jacob and Jingleheimer, like a real one.
And goes, well, of course, it's an undead deer. A rather flexible one at that, and one that I happen to trust. Though, if you're concerned about whether or not the soul experienced the same, turbulence that your other summons did, no. Not quite the case. This one is actually quite loyal to me, and thus why I infused him into your pet.
Oh.
Yes, that is an old boyfriend of mine named Bertram. And this is not romantic boyfriend, this is platonic boyfriend.
My platonic boyfriend.
Yeah. Okay, I believe that.
He's old-fashioned like that.
Terminology a lot more with girls than guys.
Yeah. Sure. But
Well, Vanelli's non-binary, but
yeah. So true. It's a non-binary alarm. Run! Run! Get out of here!
Not safe here.
Yeah.
when it's like Sombra, it's just like the revealed that shows up in your HUD.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, Penny's gonna be like, okay,
It was like,
that does make it a little. It puts my mind at a little bit at ease.
I had to. It was around the time that you asked for more independence, so I simply wanted to have someone keep an eye on you.
Okay. Well, I think you should probably go now, though. Your form is kind of like does that thing where it flickers?
I suppose it is quite late. It's roughly 2 p.m. where I'm at. I'm past my bedtime.
Yeah, so I probably won't need to call on you for a while, because what you gave me should help me get really far ahead with some of this stuff. But thank you, Finale.
He goes, of course, dear. Like I said, the uncomfortable task that I have assigned you is simply because I care. And also because I don't trust your party based off your description. No offense to them, of course.
I probably didn't do the best job describing it. They're really cool. But
like I said,
you just have to meet them.
Like I said, you are astoundingly smart. One of the smartest people I've ever met, Penelope. You are one of the worst judges. He goes, you are one of the worst judges of character I've also met.
You think I'm smart?
he pauses for a moment and then goes, he just nods and goes, yes, dear. Have a nice... That'll be all for now. And then he'll sort of fade away into the mist, and you'll sort of fade out of the mindscape into the same position you were back then, but in the physical world.
Okay. And he's just gonna kind of look down at all of her papers, and then just start shuffling them and writing things down with the new information she just got.
Okay.
I don't think she'll make a breakthrough tonight, but she's definitely gonna spend some time organizing and recontextualizing her notes.
While that's happening, Gris and Noda, you all, while this was all happening, you guys were, Noda got some materials to make some juices for Keegan, and Karth. And you've been making your way over to their abode. As you approach the house, you do see outside there is Karth working what seems to be on like some leather straps for some of the harnesses for his lynxes. Lynxi, whatever. But you see
Lynx.
Lynx. All right.
With a
But you see him out there.
on it.
And as you approach, he'll sort of like wipe the sweat off his brow and just sort of wave you over and go, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
Hi, Garth. I'm gonna run over.
He
Full
goes,
speed.
"Howdy."
And just like run into him basically into like a quick hug.
Uh,
and then
yeah.
I remember, oh wait, we kind of left things kind of awkward, and then I'll get
Yeah,
off the
in your form, like you don't really like do much to impact him. Yeah, you impacted him, and he just like sort of like awkwardly he looks up at Gris, and then just sort of like awkwardly pats you on the back when you do that, and then you just sort of separate away, and he's just kind of like shrugging, like, okay. He's like, right, and then he'll like stand up straight and give you like a cool guy nod and be like, sup?
Is like dog around?
Yeah, dog's around if you want. He'll give like a little
Is he, like,
whistle.
out there?
He'll give a little whistle, and like from around the backside of the house, you'll see, bounding around, are actually all five lynx.
Oh my god.
And they
Are
all.
they all named dog?
No, they are not. There is. Let me pull up the notes for the names of his.
Dog, frog, bog, log, and
Like,
hog.
who are these guys? Oh my god!
Yeah.
How big are they again, like compared to?
These are like the size of like sled dogs, essentially.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I'm like under. How tall am I?
I was gonna
You're
say, could we
1
ride
foot
on the
11.
back?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
knocked over by all of them, but I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. I'm under 2 feet.
Let's see.
Yeah, you're basically the height of Pilot when he stands on his hind legs.
Oh god.
Now
Yeah, I'm
imagine,
climbing.
imagine a large husky running at
No,
Pilot.
I'm climbing on top of dog as I see him.
I don't know who is who, but I climb on the back of one and pretend I'm a cowboy.
How old is Chris? I've meaning to ask.
Uh,
I'm getting very
she's a
different images,
she's
but-
a child at heart, okay?
Yeah.
He
Imagine-
sees Rhoda having a good time, and she wants to have fun too.
The best way I've ever thought about Gris is she is an adult actor playing a high school character.
That's not incorrect. No. Let's see.
And also, Grace is being influenced by 2 other children and seeing
True.
them do fun things. And like, oh, that looks fun.
I want to have fun.
Okay, so there are 5 pets. Usually select team has 6, but Karth only has his 5 due to Cat. Rest in peace. So there is Dog. He did introduce you. Dog was Cat's best friend, according to Karth. And then there's also he introduced you to. You wanted one more before you left. The other one is Fish.
Yes!
There is there is Bird, Snake, and then finally he's like, and he goes, and this one Keegan wanted to name, and he thought he was so clever. He like puffs up puffs up their face, like is just cradling. He's like, say hello to Cornelius. I call him Corn for short because it's easy, but whenever I'm at home, Keegan does make a point of making me refer to him as his full legal name. He puts legal in quotes. In quotes.
I'm like scrambling over to Cornelius now, like jumping off of Dog's back. Cornelius! Oh right, is Keegan around?
He's like, yeah, Keegan, I think he went into town to do some shopping of some sort. Should be coming back soon. He's been making me take it easy for a bit while ever since that, rather harrowing adventure of some sort. I've mostly just been playing messenger, running back and forth between towns, mostly.
Can your lynx do tricks?
I mean, they pull my sled, and they sync up quite well whenever we're in danger for hunts, but like,
That's a trick.
he's like, and then there's also, he looks over to the lynx, he looks over to Cornelius, he's like, Corn's Keegan's favorite, so Keegan actually taught Corn a few tricks, so, he goes, hey, Corn! And he pulls out, like, a piece of dried meat and holds it up in his hand, and all the other lynx just, like, turn and look at him for a moment, and he goes, sit, lie down, roll over, up, and like you see Cornelius sort of like sit down, get down like flat on the ground, do like do a roll over trick, and then jump up into the. And then you see Karth toss the tree into the air, and he'll like spring up into the air, jumping quite high, snapping it, and then he'll be like, yeah. He's like now, but unfortunately, he sees all the other lynxes are like surround him. He's like, I gotta give everyone else one, even if they didn't work as hard.
Oh, Cornelius, you're such a smart kitty, and I'm like throwing my arms around him. Well, I wanted to show you guys something, but I was kind of hoping that Keegan would be here.
You see, always like, well, if you want, Corn, go get Dad, and sort of Corn would just sort of like look for a second, and then like sniff in the air, and then like sprint off in the direction of the gates that you guys exited. He's like,
and I'm like.
Corn's a lot smarter than all the other ones, unfortunately. The rest of these guys are, and you see one that's like just sort of like rubbing his head into the sand, like constantly. And you're like, yeah, they're a bit different.
Which
I
one is
also
rubbing their head in their sand? Who is that?
That is Fish.
Who is she? Fish.
He's like, yeah.
I'm gonna go up and pet Fish and like or maybe put my head in the sand with her.
He's like, Karth would turn to note and be like, is she the fish of your group? Out of curiosity.
What does that mean?
You know, the whimsical kind.
I think she's pretty whimsical. Yeah.
He's
I
like,
think
right.
We're all whimsical.
Different types of whimsy, sure. And you'll
I feel
just.
like there's undertones to what you're saying, but I just can't pick up what they are.
Nah, you're imagining things.
Okay.
You're during this chat, you'll see Keegan sort of striding along with a bag, but Cornelius will actually be holding one of the bags in his mouth, sort of trotting alongside.
And I'm like gonna run over, and then I'm also gonna try to grab one of the bags to help bring it over, but it's probably the same size as me.
Like you, as you reach for it, Keegan will just sort of like hold it above their hands and be like, "No, you're a guest here. No, you're a guest. You're a guest.
I was gonna be here. I'm an intruder.
Even worse. I can't trust you. Then I can't trust you. It's even worse then." And you see, she'll like sort of stride toward. He'll stride towards the house, like with the bags held high above his head, and just sort of like awkwardly strutting that way. Before bumping the door open, dropping some stuff off, and then standing next to the cars, just sort of leaning on his shoulder and being like, "So, what brought you two here?" Just.
I made you guys juice.
You
I
go-
told them they're like lukewarm. They were like sitting in my bag sideways. So when I put them back up, like the regular one is just like a regular full like vial or whatever.
Yeah,
But like Karth is like slowly.
Yeah, you see Keegan like
settling.
reach for his, and then like at like Karth on shoulder, like, "Well, isn't that kind, right, Karth? Say thank you." It gives him like a pat on the back. He's like, yeah, like he's first disarmed, but he's like, yeah, and then like you take him for a second. It's like, wait a minute, this is actually, yeah, this is pretty good actually. This reminds me of the
with extra pulp because you need the vitamins probably for all the
right,
and stuff.
right.
Electrolytes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris really likes the pulp in mine, I think. Or maybe she did.
I do.
Yeah.
I really like.
Yeah.
She likes to chew
I'm-
her.
I just want to remind, like, just to, as like a step back, like Gris showed up, like buried her head in the sands like an ostrich, and just like poked back up to say, "I really like pulp." Like just so we're like aware of like the image going on here.
Fish is still next to me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
not
but
just
fish
below
fish
it.
isn't like constant. Fish isn't like constant like keeping his head playing the sand though. He's like rolling it around in there.
Oh,
You're
like,
just put your head in the sand.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is pretty nice. It's pretty
kinda
good.
cool in here. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, Caitlin will be like, So you all just like blew in from out of town then?
Yeah.
Doing some
and
visits?
Then I'll do like that kid thing where they just ramble for 20 minutes and I'm just telling them about everything that happened since we left. It was like, so we met this guy Tuno. Oh, actually we almost died. Penny kind of touched a thing that blew us all up, but actually that's the thing that we wanted to
There you go.
tell the
Karth goes,
about.
wait, back up. There you go. You'll see Keegan like almost like hands over his mouth, like, you guys almost died? And then
Well, no, he did die, but
Karth will
we
go,
did.
you guys met Tuno?
Yeah, Tuno, you know him?
Yeah, I'll bump into from time.
And then I found out that I was a I can do this, and oh, check this out, and then I'm gonna turn it to my Lynx form.
Oh god.
He's gonna see that as like, he's like,
And then
yeah.
I'm gonna turn back, and I'm like,
He
"Isn't that neat? I didn't know I could
he's
do
like
that. I
he's like
got out
standing.
with
He was like focused on his
thing."
work, like looking away. He's like, yeah, I know Tuno. I've bumped into. He stayed the night a couple of times. He helped me out, and then he looks over to you, turn into like cat, and then turn back. He's like, huh.
And it's really
Kigo
cool
just sort of
because I
like
can go
pat
a
him
lot
back.
faster in the sand, and then there was this Blight thing that came and it tried to kill us, and then there's these giant sand guys, and then and then we killed them. But, like,
Keegan's
oh,
gonna go.
we're friends.
You're gonna have to slow down, dear. I think you're gonna break him. He's a bit slow. Karth is just sort of like he's just sort of sitting there with a bunch of like tools and like leather straps in his hand, just sort of like staring off a little bit, just sort of like looking at like around your general area as you keep talking.
Yeah, and then we went to this other I don't remember where it was, but there was like this guy that died or something, and we were trying to, it was like a mystery. We solved like a murder mystery, and then like and then the guy that we thought was like the speaker, or he wanted to be the speaker, but he actually escaped from prison, and then like he exploded like he ran out of town, but then we chased him, but then he died, but we don't know what killed him, or maybe we do, I don't remember. But and then we went to this really sad town that had like nobody in it, or like they just didn't really, it was really depressing, so we didn't stay there too long. They're a lost cause, I think. I don't remember. I think somebody said that. Maybe nobody said that. Maybe I was just thinking that.
You went to whole of Izmit
Oh
then,
my god!
right?
And Delphine, the lake is shaped like a dolphin, and that's crazy.
He's
And
like,
that's probably-
he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why it's called Delphine.
I didn't know that. That's so cool. It's so funny. It's clever.
Pretty
and
sure the
then,
lake itself's called Delfino Lake, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh. Anyways, so
Hmm.
then, and then we were at this other place. Oh, and then we went on this ship, and there's all these skeletons. Well, no, there was like this ghost. I don't know. It was really scary for some reason, and I think I thought I was just scared of ships, which doesn't make sense because I came here on a ship. But then it was fine, and then we went there. But then I think there's a whole, somebody blew up, or maybe it was tased or something. There was a big explosion. There was a hole in Pal. Oh, you remember Pal, the
I remember. Yeah, I know. I know him.
And then I stuck my hand through him, but it didn't work out well. It kind of hurt. So then I.
For him? Wait, it hurt for him or for you?
No, it hurt me. I don't understand why. There was like nothing in there, but.
Keegan would be like, Keegan goes, well, why would he hurt you then if he was stuck in like that's dangerous?
I don't think it was intentional, but because Pal's like our dad, so I don't think he would try to hurt us. But,
they like stop for a moment, like Keegan was like taking a drink from like a water skin and then just like choked on it briefly, like.
It's a wild thing to just drop. Seeing somebody. Like, oh yeah, there's this group of adventurers. They come, it's like, oh yeah, he's my dad.
He's my dad.
You know that refrigerator? He's my dad. It's like, what? Fuck.
Of course, but he's like a father figure to us all, I think. He's always looking out for us, or maybe he's just trying to stop us from doing stupid things, but isn't that what dads are for? Anyways, and then we went to this other place, and I met this really cool person, Eve. She's super cool, and she taught me a lot about self-respect and stuff.
Both of them are shaking their head at Eve, mention of Eve. They're just like,
cool.
they're just like, no.
She's like one of my new best friends, I think. I think she's a really good influence on me because I'm like, yeah, now I know my self-worth, and a lot of people have been disrespecting me, I've realized. But after that,
disrespecting
we went to all these other places, and then why are we here? I feel like I was supposed to ask you guys something. Because now we're here. We
Well,
went to these other places, and then we
he-
got to the sky. and
Karth holds
then-
up his potions like, well, you delivered some cool juice. Gives it a little swirl.
Yeah. But like, I'm trying to remember why we were at Cardos. We were asking the Why were we? I look over at Chris. Why are we looking for speakers again? What's the thing that we?
Something with the thing. You know, the light.
The thing. Oh yeah, the thing that blew us up. So that stopped work. Oh my God, you would never believe Terrence is the fucking MVP. I'm sorry, the freaking MVP.
Karth just shrugs. Is like, hey, I'm not your dad, kid. Unlike
You're
Pal,
right,
it seems.
Pal's not here.
You're free to talk over you like.
Yeah, he's our effing MVP. So when we all exploded and died, he was still alive, and he's actually the one that got Tuno to come over, and I don't remember what he did, but there was this device that like stopped the Blight or whatever.
Tuno was a bit of a strange one, but he's a good
really
person.
cool.
He's cool. Yeah, I mean that's a bit much, I think, but.
I mean, I don't know what that means coming from you, but anyways.
Keegan's like giving like him. He was like, oh, like you just got burned by a kid. Just sort of like slap him like back in the chest, like, oh, shit.
Yeah, but that thing that like I think we're trying to do something with that device and trying to figure out, because now it doesn't work anymore, which is probably for the best, because when it did work, it killed us all. Oh my God, and then we saw the spirit of this dead guy, but he was kind of a dick. So I'm like kind of not mad that he's still, he was like that for a while. He was dead when we got there. But yeah, I think we're trying to, I know Penny's trying to figure out how the thing works. So I guess, do you guys know anybody that would?
I mean, in terms of smart people, I point you towards either Deshaun or Speaker Corvin Silver, I guess. Corvin's not smart himself, but he likes to look smart, so he collects a bunch of important books and whatnot. He's not actually that smart. You shouldn't ask him. You should ask to see his collection, if anything.
Did we already do that? I was like, I remember
tried to.
Deshaun. Oh.
Corvin was the guy whose house was like. It was the guy whose house was like barricaded and fortified, and then we walked off the door and we're like, you're not getting in.
Oh, yeah, Corvin said that. Do you know anything about that?
I heard tales from it. I remember Deshaun asking after Corvin actually, and I remember telling him about it when I did a quick run over to Fiolet, and I passed through Grimazon. I checked in with him, and he was apparently not feeling too well. Left a message at the door, but that was about it. If you recall, Deshaun was the one who first told you that Corvin was sick, and he told him that Karth was the one who told him.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, the people that were outside they were straight up disrespectful. It was quite rude, actually. They wouldn't let us see him or anything.
They're not the friendliest folk, but not everyone greets every day with a smile, you know? So it is what it is.
Yeah. Anyways, how are you guys?
I'm doing good, a bit restless, but because someone doesn't want me to take anything that's too dangerous. But
You almost died, Karth.
you did die, if I remember correctly.
We saved you. You should be taking
He's like, that's still not a rebuttal. I still don't hear it. He's like, Keegan, when do I get to die? If Tuno's there to save me, can I die? Is that it? And
Wild thing to say.
Keegan's just like, he's like, you need to stay relatively close, low risk jobs for now. We'll see about it.
I'm like, my arms are crossed. I'm like nodding.
He's like,
I think you should listen to Keegan. He's smart.
Carr just like stands up. He's like, they're children, and they already died. I haven't even died once.
At this
Hey,
point,
we're
I
still
pulled my
here.
head out of the sand and walked back over. Hey guys, kind of like cleansing to go down there for.
Really?
Yeah.
Should I?
I feel like a new skunk.
I'm like, I look at like Karthik Keeve, like, do you mind if I go?
He's
Pointing.
Carr shrugs. Is like, don't blame me if you run into some of the lynx's excrement, I guess. But
Ugh.
yeah, world's their litter box, by the way. We try to keep the area clean around here, but you know, can't catch everything.
I'm like looking Gris up and down. Is there any lynx poop on her?
Roll a d20 for me,
God, I
Gris.
hope not. Am I adding anything?
Nope.
I'm
I got a
full from
17.
Link's
17? Luckily, no. Seems just be Sandy.
Oh,
Oh,
you just gotta sniff your spot before you pick it, you know.
okay, that sounds about right. I'll be back. And I'm gonna go leave Gris alone with them as I go dig in the sand.
Okay, he's like, oh, and there she goes. Okay.
Yeah. You guys ever do that?
Not particularly, no. Can't say I have. Are you good? You seem to just be a bit scatterbrained. You're a bit more focused. I guess there was something more important. You're rescuing me, but
Yeah. And I mean, I am scatterbrained, but I'm good.
all right. Just curious. Where the rest of your party at?
You know, I think they said something about going to this inn, but I can't quite remember the name. Like the Shark's Mouth or something?
You were going to, they were going to see the speaker, right? That's what you guys were going around to do.
Correct.
Do you guys have a name yet, or you guys still just some random group of people that people ask to do things?
I think we have a name, and I think it's cool.
It's like,
I think everyone else likes it.
yeah, what is it?
The potential messenger.
Potential messengers.
Yeah. He goes, Keegan would just sort of like lean forward. He's like, you guys' name is PMS.
Yeah.
Right.
They're really easy to remember letters, you know.
Yes, it just rolls off the tongue. And Karth is just sort of just like holding it, like seems to just be like holding in like just like just okay. And you see Keegan just sort of like elbow him and just be like, great name. It's easy to remember too, yeah. Well,
Exactly.
if you're potentially messaging somewhere around Steven, then you're probably seeing the speakers. And if you're here to see this town's speakers, you're probably over at the Whale's Jaw looking for the northwest side of town.
That's what it is, not the Shark's Mouth.
Yeah, I
Whale's
can.
Jaw.
I think like Dog or Corn could lead you there if you want.
Ooh. Take corn or both.
I inhaled some sand.
Like Keegan's gonna lean down, like hand you his water skin, and be like, yeah, you wanna avoid eating sand. Fish already does that enough for all of us, I'm afraid.
Crunchy. Thank you.
Um,
I'm just gargling and then spit back into the water skin.
Oh.
he takes they take it back gingerly, and just like he just kind of shrugs, and then just like water falls it down for some of the lynx to drink. He's like,
I didn't want to spit on the ground because that seemed rude.
yeah, like Keegan will go, yeah, it is kind of rude, isn't it, Karth? And like Karth will just kind of just like, it's like, what is it with all of you today? Just, I was happy to see you all. I was happy to see you, Keegan, when I woke up this morning. It was wonderful too. I was wonderful seeing all of you. What's the deal with make fun of Karth Day, huh?
What? Wait, what do you mean?
We didn't make fun of you.
Genuine sadness. It's like, wait, are you not happy to see me anymore?
Sam's just thinking about how he's gonna make fun of Karth.
There are tears, but I was like, I really put a lot of effort into the juice that I made you. I was trying to be thoughtful because I was like, oh, Karth must be tired, so let me put these extra vitamins in for him. And I'm like, maybe I'll give him a hug because we kind of
he's like, you'll see like some of the lynx sort of like come over to you, Noda, and just sort of like rub against you as the emotional support animals that they are, and be like, Karth is just like, Karth's like, oh, they're on their side too. Okay,
I can't win today.
he's like, he's just sort of just like tightens up like one of the last harnesses that he was working on. He's like, he gives like a deep bow. It's like, I am so sorry I didn't show proper appreciation for your juice. I love it.
Okay, I believe you. Thanks, Kurt. I'm sorry if I made you feel any type of way, and I'm like walking up to him, crying and hugging him. I'm sorry for anything that I might have done that might have upset
He
you.
gives like just like a little pat, just like a sort of tired pat, just like, yeah, I just gotta console the kid. Just yeah, he's like, it's all right, it's all right.
You're really not that bad. You're actually pretty cool. I just didn't want to say it to your face.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's just sort of like let it out, let it out, kid.
I'm sorry that I maybe didn't treat you the nicest in the past, but the past is in the past, and you really shouldn't dwell on it. It's not healthy.
He's quirking an eyebrow at that. He's like, I agree. Dwelling on the past isn't that.
Go, Karth. You gotta let go.
Yeah, he's like, I agree. I think it's important to let go about what happened in the past. And like, Gris, what you see that while he's comforting Nona, like patting her on the back, giving like a half hug into it, he's like looking at Keegan, just sort of like,
Oh.
and he's just like, just a silent conversation happening between the two.
If I pick up on that, I like.
Put your.
Yeah.
Put your head back in the sand, just like, not my problem.
Honestly, maybe.
Like, oh, no.
Keep my ears out so I can listen.
You hear like the slurred words and sobbing of Noda, and like you can't hear anything, but you just feel an exchange happening in combination with that. And Noda, you get all your tears out of your system as
there's like a face, like when I pull away, there's like a circle where my head was, and it's just full of snot and tears on his leg, like on his pant leg. I'm like, you're pretty good. You're pretty yeah. Okay, I think we should go. Thanks for having us over. It was really nice seeing you guys again. And I'm gonna go give Keegan a hug, and then I'm gonna hug each of the Lynxes individually. And they're all like 15-second hugs.
Which one are we taking with us?
Yeah, he's like, so do you want one of them to guide you to the whale's jaw? You guys aren't locals here, so I can.
Yes, please.
He's like, okay. He looks at the Keegan, goes, Key, sending corn or bird? Keegan go, how about we send corn helped me bring in the groceries, so how about we send a bird with them? And go like, okay. He'll like lean down to Bird and be like, you just ruffle their fur a little bit, scratch them behind the ears, and then just like send a command, just like, show him to the whale, show him to the whale, and they would just sort of like the lynx will trot between you two, look at you both, and then just sort of like trot into town.
Climbing onto Bird's back.
Yeah. The Bird will lead you back to the whale jaw where the rest of your party lies. And I would say roughly about now you would see Hal and Sam like emerge downstairs after having their conversation with the speaker. And you probably hear either some frustration or some breakthrough happening in Penny's room.
Kinda want to go see what's up with Penny.
But you all basically finished your whatever tasks you set out for at the city today. Among Us.
Among Us.
Tasks.
Imposter.
But yes.
Oh my god.
No.
Yeah, Penny would probably still just be shuffling papers. And
Yeah,
doing
so
notes.
yeah, you're all free to meet up, and Pal, you can you can choose to share your objective or keep it hidden and veil it as something else if you so desire.
Not gonna bring it up yet.
Okay. You all simply reconvene. You see Penny's made a mess of the room that she rented out.
And the second that they step in, Penny's like, whoa, wait.
What?
Oh.
And then she's gonna point to an extremely narrow path that she has made.
We're both trailing sand behind us as we're walking into your room.
Just don't
That's
step on any of the papers.
that's
A lot of
not
them are-
too inaccurate. Like everyone trails sand in the desert. To be fair, it's not too.
But there's like sand and maybe little bits of poop on us.
No.
Inside of us.
That's
Everyone's
a
got a little poop
horrible.
inside of
Actually,
them.
no. I think there's poop inside of everyone.
Yeah.
True.
Well,
But,
actually, not me, but everyone
yeah,
else.
and basically she's gonna acknowledge that people have come in, and then she's going to point them to the pathway, and she's gonna go back to just kind of hurriedly redoing some notes.
Yep.
So,
Without looking up, she's gonna be like,
so how'd it go?
Pretty good. Like I have like swollen eyes like after
Yeah.
your cry. So I'm like kind of squinting
Yeah.
at them.
Yeah.
I probably have more sand than usual in my fur.
Slightly like an irritated nose, some swollen eyes from Noda, and a lot of sand from Gris. Looking a bit sandier, like her like monochrome coat. It's got a bit of a bit dust. Looks a bit dusty right now.
Okay. And Pal, Sam, did you guys meeting go good?
Yeah, we've got the speaker agreed to participate, and
Yeah, it was a really good game of chess. Yeah.
Let's stop for
Oh,
a
you
second.
played chess with them? That's pretty cool of them.
Oh, with that, no.
Oh,
I just kind of just whipped out my chessboard and just started playing.
who
I
won?
don't know
Do
what
that
they
in
were doing.
public.
Can't do that. I was gonna say.
the same joke. It's funny every time.
Oh, so they just agreed with like no condition? Just last time you talked, they seemed like they were pretty secretive.
Last time we didn't actually get to talk to the speaker.
Oh, that's
there was,
right. Yeah. There was a
Yeah.
right.
we-
Sorry.
Yeah.
They were busy at the time. Couldn't get a
Well-
hold of them. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
That's
We tried
what
everything we
happened.
could.
That's what happened for
Yeah,
sure.
We tried our very hardest. It
We
was.
tried our very hardest. It didn't pan out like that. I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
I do know what to tell you. It's what I'm telling you right now.
I've made some progress. I don't think I could. I don't even know what I need to repair this. I know the parts that need to be repaired. I know kind of what each of these things do now, and she's gonna point at each of the rings and then at the core. Kind of. I don't know their specifics. I just know what their general idea of what they want to do. And I got some information from a friend.
a
Oh,
friend.
you know someone in town?
Penny's gonna think real hard for like a half second. You're gonna hear like like you could hear her synapses is firing if you were close enough. She'd be like,
Why are you
Yeah,
hesitating? It's a
yeah.
yes or no question. Are they here or are they not here?
Well, they're no longer in town. That's why I was kind of hesitating.
They just
They just
Came-
they were rolling through, and they always know how to
and you
find me.
just
So
happen to
They just
That's
came
kinda
over-
weird.
wait.
yeah, it is. I always thought that too, but they do it in a nice way.
You have a
Are you
stalker?
sure?
Are you okay, Penny?
I mean,
It's just us.
if they were stalking me,
Oh my God,
Yeah,
Penny, are you
stalking
okay?
well, no, they're not
Do I
stalking
need
me
to stay with you?
because I asked them to stop doing that sometimes,
Oh, okay.
and then they did. But I think they could sense
Not
that I was getting
okay.
kind of frustrating,
No.
oh,
so they came over
wait,
and helped.
wait. So they stopped watching you, but they always know where you are. How does that work?
Well,
That
like I
technology
think
Do they
doesn't
know where
exist
we
here.
are, Penny?
Yo,
no,
wait.
'cause I know that because I was talking about you guys, and they had no idea who you were.
Oh,
How do you know they were just lying?
Because
I
they're
learned
a
that
very
people could
bad
do
liar.
that recently.
how do you?
They're
so
very
that
bad
means they-
liar because I'm a bad liar, and we suck at lying to each other. So it usually just ends up in an awkward like way for both of us.
How
So we
did
just
you
try to
meet this
avoid it.
person?
It was kind of by happenstance. We were kind of. I was doing a favor for them, and then they offered some help with some things for me, and then
And they just ended up stalking you. Interesting.
well, once I
Hmm.
realized they did, I told them to stop, and they respected that.
but they
Well, that's
always
true.
know where you are still. So in a way,
only if I reach out, and I think I accidentally did.
but
do
like,
you-
It's really
for them
complicated.
to,
there's
for them
more
to
impor-
just know where you are, though, I can't help but feel like they're still just stalking you, but they're just a little more low key about it now.
That's not. There's more important things right now.
Okay.
We can come back to this.
Yeah. Okay. I've definitely like Noah's definitely keeping her head on a swivel more now. She's like watching everyone. What does he look like?
By the way, Gris, what do you care about most in this world? That's out of character.
Oh, okay.
By the way, the rest of you guys, your character homework is to find something that's collateral. Some people already have that. Noda has Terrence. Sam, Pal has Sam.
That
But
could change. He's growing as a character.
yeah,
That's true.
toxic relationship according to
Yes. But basically,
Not
you don't
kinda,
have to
though.
tell me. You don't have to tell me what it is. You need to know it, so that way I can try and pry it out of you.
yeah.
Or
Funny,
you can make it on
haha.
the spot when I do try and pry it out of you. I don't know. Just give me some. But yeah, that's what's more important is I got some more information about where this came from. Big information.
Yeah, I tried
so-
to ask Keegan if they knew anyone that could help Keegan and Karth, but we already tried them.
Yeah, it was our best lead probably would have been Corvin, but he's being a real
It's a real d-bag.
He's sick.
no.
That guy sucks.
That guy has a weak immune system.
So,
Fuck him.
and then Penny's gonna launch into her whole explanation. I'm just gonna summarize. So this is, we all know this is a Mythalar, or this is based on one. It's a weather machine. That
I don't think your party knew that. I'll be honest with you.
it's a type of weather machine that's really old, and this is based
Okay.
on a bigger version. There's a bigger one that this was based off of. So this is a smaller version, and that's how it kind of does the weather thing, where it gets rid of the bright blight. So it kind of just says stop all weather here.
The bomb
And the bright
part,
blight, I guess,
like,
falls underneath in that. I don't know why that part happened. I'm still kind of figuring out the intricacies of this. But overarching thing, this came from the Nox on Cod. Do you guys, any of you remember that? I think I mentioned it before when we were in the crypt.
Sounds familiar.
That's not a place. It's a people. An older.
Well,
race.
it is a place. It's an organization.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a group of people that. Well, it was a group of people that belonged to a place.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's a people and a place. Sorry, I get my notes jumbled up in my head sometimes. I should.
that's okay. A lot of this is just going
You
in
should
one
work
ear
on
and
your
out the
memory.
other.
You should work
My
on your
friend said the
memory.
same thing. My friend did the same thing.
Work on your memory.
But what they did is, and I don't know how they did it, but in this area, in Sieben, they launched a city into the sky.
Sky City.
And apparently they were real pretentious about it, and they thought they were super cool, which is really embarrassing when it crashed back into the ground.
That's so embarrassing. Oh my god, you can't
But it-
recover from that.
But it crashed in this area.
Oh.
Which means that what I need to fix this is probably at that city, if we can figure out where it is. And then also, last little bit, I have no idea what to do with this information, but I guess I'll find out later on. This, and she's going to hold up her Olmeron necklace. Olmeron means multiple things, and it wasn't originally this, like metal. It was something else. So either this derived its name from something else, or this is misnamed, and we don't have the right name for it. And I don't really know what to do with that information. I was just kind of putting it out there to maybe have someone else would be like, oh, I know what that is. But now looking at everyone's kind of blank expressions as they look at me, I feel like that's not the response I'm going to get.
I literally had a mouthful of sand earlier, so I don't
Yeah,
think
the sand eaters are like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That means like
But
you're the only
I know my place.
Yeah,
I'm
you're-
self-aware.
I have a lead on where we can go if we want to get this fixed. Or at least I can start the process of getting what I need to. But it's still probably a ways off. So, as much as I would like to, stay here and just kind of keep poking and prodding this, is there anything we need to do to get prepped for the meeting of speakers? Because I believe Cardos was the last one we needed, right?
I believe so.
So there's nothing we gotta do before we meet up with them?
We might want to check in and just wrap up some things first.
I would like to try and maybe check back in with Corvin and see if I can get in there. There
Okay.
might be some good
Yeah,
information.
we can do that. Yeah.
Which, by the way, like above board, like getting holding a council is like the end of what I would consider to be Act 1 of this campaign. So if there's anything you want to do before everything
Events
progresses,
happen.
yeah, events can happen. So if there's like, oh, I wanted to like go back to that place to investigate that, that's a good place to start. Like it'd be. I'm not gonna say whether or not something bad could happen in that place, but I'm saying that there's not a negligible possibility that something could happen to certain places.
Some things will happen, good or bad.
Yes.
They could affect your plans. Take that into account.
Yes.
But yeah, my brain hurts a little. And by a little, I mean a lot. And she's gonna wipe the drool from her mouth. Because she's probably been drooling for like the past 10 minutes without realizing it,
Yeah.
I would say.
A little dehydrated.
Did we want to stay here for the night? Because I really don't want to walk anymore.
It is approaching evening. It's like not quite nighttime, but it's like 5 or 6 in the afternoon ish.
So
I mean, I'm fine with here.
Granted,
we
it
have a room.
it is
right?
a, let me check. I believe it is like a 2-hour trip to Lucky Fortune.
yes.
But if you want to go to Margarine, that is 4 hours.
So just kind of, can we get the big map up?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Mm.
I was trying to move it to my other monitor and I clicked the X.
Let's go. Big
Hold
map.
on. Start eating tons of sugar.
Wait.
Shovel sand into my mouth.
That's not sugar.
It's so crunchy.
So do we want to change the dot next to Cardos to a queen?
I'll let
That's what I
I'll
was
let Blake
trying
do
to do.
that. I'll let Blake do that.
I want Steel Blake's satisfaction.
And with that on the way, then you have generally everyone's going to go except for Hole of Ismet and Grimazon.
Alright, and then so Grimazon was Corvin,
Yes.
correct? Hole of Ismet was just the shithole town that I think I got a name for? Question mark?
Yeah, Hole of Ismet I believe is Edna.
I think so.
Let me see. Yeah, leader Edna.
Yes, old doesn't give a shit.
And
my note.
Quillith.
Yeah, the only thing of note at the Hole of Ismet is the
Necrotic. rumors that we
necrotic,
got.
yeah, necromancy stuff that happened. That's supposedly supposed to happen there.
Where did I write that down?
The note I have on top of Hole of
Can you
Ismet is
delete the
that
yellow? I can't.
Pal isn't against slavery. I don't know what the context of that was, but that's just a note that I have when we were in Hole of Ismet.
Hell isn't against slavery.
Interesting.
I have another one where he's racist.
Those seem tied. I guess it depends on if the slavery is race-based, but
No, they were like completely separate thouts, though.
okay.
Yeah,
They were, like, months apart, I
it could be classist and
No,
like
it
a
was
slaver.
Pal is big into racial profiling.
Yeah, that's
That is something I'm into,
I
yeah.
could do that.
that makes sense. You see,
There's definitely another thing too. Oh no, another one was that you were racist because you forgot that you could talk to goblins.
Pal didn't forget. Blake forgot.
Yeah, I
so,
have that down as Pal.
as places that we want to go, that we have still things we can do.
Oh, I remember where Pal's not against slavery is because Gris approached the idea of like, hey, what if we captured them and made them slaves? And Pal was like, I'm okay with that.
What the fuck? I don't have the grist pitch the idea.
Yeah, I feel like I got a bad rap on that.
I'll add to that.
So things that
Anyway.
we could do, even if the whole party doesn't know that we can do them, things that have been offered to us, just general above board blanket stuff. Margarine, we can go do the speaker things that the Carter speaker wants us to do.
Yes.
We don't know that. Powell,
Which, yeah.
I'm gonna figure out distributing that information.
So yeah, the reward for that is obviously like, if you don't do it, you get whatever support Grush Paddle gives you from Margarine. If you do go through with that, then you get the full support of both Margarine and Cardos, which are two of the major cities.
Yeah.
we have Cardos on board, but we can get more on board.
Yeah, Cardos says that they'll go and they'll offer information, but they can't offer resources because they're not confident in how Margarine will handle things.
Gotcha. Hole of Ismet is haunted. That's kind of a minor one, but that could get us some good stuff. Grimazon has a library that could give me some more information about where this knocks on Cod, or the origins of Olmeron, any historical stuff that we need history background on.
Yeah, Grimazon is basically, if you want anything historical, Grimazon is where you would go. You were able to find something barely in Lucky Fortune due to Deshaun having like religious texts, and that's it.
And that was completely separate from like Nox and Khan. That was just
Yeah.
Algal,
Yeah,
which could
yeah,
be
if you-
related, I don't know yet.
Could be. You don't know.
Is there anything else that we've picked up along the way that we want to maybe pin to the board as things that we could do?
I mean, I'm definitely interested in finding out about I forgot the term for it, but like the improved Omeron.
Yeah, so
I don't know even where I would go to start.
Yeah, the way that, so the Olmeron, I guess I didn't make it clear. What you would want to look for is basically the same stuff that that Meredith made those rings around his device out of.
Which I also
Okay.
need. So that should be something we should possibly seek out, and that could possibly be related to.
Obviously, I'll get if you
Conference.
can't answer this. Is that an Act 1 thing that we can do, or is that more like a later storyline?
That can be that doesn't have an expiration date really. That one can happen whenever. You don't have to do it. You could do it. And like I said, if you want to,
outside of our scope
you can
currently.
also pursue your upgrades using only Olmeron if you want.
Yeah, that feels like it's gonna have bigger consequences or something.
It
I don't know
could.
for sure.
You've already committed one amount of Olmeron, so it's like in for a penny, in for a pound. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not quite like that.
Like,
Just sit on your shoulder, being like, "You should just go full evil."
yeah.
But is there anything else that anyone else had that they wanted to maybe follow up on, like any leads of stuff? Because we don't know where that shipment of Olmeron went from. It went from Fiolette to Wet Hall, and we never found it in Wet Hall, correct?
Yep.
That's right.
We know that there is
Some despots that are moving Olmeron around. You recall?
Hold on. Yeah, the paladin, or no, paladin, Pope died paladin, and
Yeah.
we asked the body about who they were and why Pope died. We found out that they were saviors. Those who rescued them will bring darkness and establish the kingdom.
Which
Whatever
that
that
feels like
means.
some important information to possibly bring up during a council meeting. Possibly.
Yeah.
It could have been related to Vryn. I have no connecting bridge there.
Yeah,
but-
you don't have like a really religious person. You have Hal, but he's not the most holy of warriors.
Just based off context clues from my notes and what I know of Vryn, just based on iconography.
Yeah, you were able to be like, hey, this is the symbol of Ren, but you weren't able to put go anything beyond that.
There was Captain Ethra in Delphine,
Yeah,
who burned someone at the stake for possibly or indirectly leading a well-known hero
Yeah.
adventuring party to their death.
yes. Which heroes parties are not that common around here. You haven't met that many. You met a traumatized group, and you met and you never got to meet the other one. So, you know, yeah, people were a bit upset.
there is the Grimazon, like there's the library, but there's also that group of mercenaries that are defending, or kind of, or possibly holding the speaker hostage in some shape or form. We have no idea.
Shrug. You don't know.
Yep.
I think that's everything so far. At least that I have notes of. I'm about halfway through my book. Hey, yo.
Yo.
Anytime when I finish this book, anytime that Leo says I don't take notes, I'm gonna drive over to your house, Leo, and throw this notebook at you.
What are you gonna do about when I say that the second time?
You gotta pick it up every time he throws it at you.
I'll figure that out when I get there. I'll get another notebook.
Yeah, and then not take notes on them.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll crumple
cool.
up a different page of the notebook to throw at you each time.
But yeah, that's what I have.
Alright.
I was not expecting to get that much out of finale.
Finale
If you
is
don't have any votes on it,
very
direction,
important.
then I can push us towards one in a sec. It's just not something I'm going to be saying to the whole party. So.
Sure.
Well, I guess just because we're getting close to the end of the session, right?
Yes, this is basically you guys are free to talk about anything above board or in game.
Well, we can't. I guess we'll say right now for scheduling, we can't do next week. I will be in the woods.
Yes, you'll be doing his man versus wild impression.
Yes, with Nathan. It'll be extremely cool, and won't go
They're gonna
wrong
take
at all.
pictures, so we'll be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I told Nathan,
I'm
so
known for how
pictures
well
are-
I take pictures.
I told Nathan because I knew you wouldn't take pictures.
Be careful of waterfalls.
What
I
happens
hear
at
they're
waterfall?
slippery.
It don't go down. It do go. It don't go down.
Oh shit!
I thought they were just like wet and shit.
So for scheduling, just to get this out of the way now, the next date would be the 21st of October.
Yes.
Does that work for people?
I
Should.
believe so.
I know it's pretty far out for some people who may not have plans yet, or things might pop up, but for now.
Should
Currently,
be
it works
okay.
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And then as for direction,
Yeah, I would
So
like to
you'll
know.
know
I would like to have an
tomorrow.
idea of what to prep in case you guys are like, "Hey, we plan on doing this." If you
Okay, then if we want to,
if you decide to U-turn, that's fine. But it's gonna be like,
let's start heading to bed in game. If somebody doesn't have a direct direction, then that's when I was gonna start
yeah, that's what I was gonna.
directing people.
I guess we can do that scene. We'll probably just I'll be cleaning up all my papers so people can actually use this fucking room.
we
If we all want to stay in the same room, but
It is.
if you
It
wanna
is
pay for another one,
basically
be my guest.
one. So we can end it there and be like, you can think about how you would pitch that, Blake. You can have time to prep that, I guess.
Yeah, it works fine.
And I guess that's the session. I have to ask, did you guys enjoy the session?
Yeah,
That's
that was
fun,
fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the sessions right now have just been talking, but that's because you guys did a lot of combat at the start and then just sort of just been like, oh wait, there's a setting here. We have to. There's a setting here. Whoops. But yeah.
We'll yearn for these days of all we had to do was talk when we get into the shit like the world-ending combats later.
Yeah, I don't want.
That'd be great.
I'm sure Noto will be like, I want to fight a dragon, and then you'll be like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Hey,
did you say
Diana said she turned me into a dragon. And
No,
I'm gonna hold her to that.
Diana said she would get a dragon for you to fight. She did not
Is that
say
what
she'd
she
turn you.
said?
Yes, she said.
Hold
You
on,
said
I read my notes wrong.
you said I want to fight a dragon. She's like, I'll get that. I'll get that for you.
I wrote she's making me a dragon, but that means she's making a dragon for me, not
Yeah.
that she's making me into a
Yeah.
dragon.
Yeah.
Let's eat, Grandma.
I made note of that for when during Act 3 when Diana betrays you all and's like, I was actually a dragon the whole time. Wah.
Diana, my hero!
My best friend.
My best friend, don't tell Eve!
So just for planning though, like when you are gonna you're gonna try and push us towards margarine, like.
Yes, I'll be trying to.
Yeah, you have until you guys decide to hold the meeting. Basically, now that everyone's been like RSVP'd, basically, they're just waiting for Lucky Fortune to be like, okay, we're holding the meeting at this date at this location, which will happen at your guys' input. So, is there anything you wish to
We're the ones
explore?
that have to show them stuff.
Yeah, basically.
And as a reminder to everybody, so that I don't have to cut people off when they try and tell somebody this, we're not gonna demonstrate the apocalypse device
What? You're not gonna demonstrate the
Maybe
nuke?
You won't.
The nuclear?
I'm like,
You're not gonna.
tell us, the players. what
We
the
as
characters
in you
want.
all. Correct?
You're not gonna turn on the reactor in the most populated city in the region? Why
Let's
not?
give it lucky fortune with all of the world leaders.
And then let's turn on the
That would
reactor.
be a pretty good terrorism arc. though, I'm not gonna lie. We would
Yeah.
actually
I feel like
Pretty
a
real
terrorism
end goal.
pivot. Yeah, I feel like I could.
That's reasonable.
If you guys want to
You have no idea
pivot,
my true- you have no idea my true motivations.
you're free to pivot however you want. Like I said, you're free to adapt. I'm just like, hey,
Completely derail any. current
Also, Leo,
plans
I
Leo
really
has.
liked how you did Vinali.
yeah.
They gave that air of like the exact air I was thinking of, like of indifference, but I care.
Yeah, he doesn't care about anyone really except for Penny.
Yes,
He's
it
a
was.
soon.
He's a suitor.
He's a soon. Yeah.
Well, they,
Amsever
sorry,
is
they
saying-
are Sundere.
There's
I'm gonna
separate.
forget my own character's fucking backstories. It keeps happening. I made Nasir non-binary. No, I just kept calling him he the entire time.
Let's go.
At least with Penny, it's a little easier to remember. But like with Vinali,
Imagine if you guys imagine if this campaign or a future campaign finds Nasir. That'd be crazy. There's like a
Isn't
there's-
Nasir findable?
yes.
Yeah, the most findable.
Everybody is findable.
Everybody is findable. So the conditions I have right now in place is if you
Is
yeah,
findable.
if you find everyone from the first campaign, I will hold a short level 20 campaign for you all where you get to replay those characters. If you find all the people from the previous campaign, we'll do a high level, not 20, but like maybe 12 or 14 level
Okay,
campaign with all the
but
previous
do we-
characters.
Do we have to like? Are you gonna give us? Like, are you gonna make it so that it's possible that our paths may cross, or do we have to explicitly go out of our way
It
to
is
find them?
it is possible.
Because our characters don't
yeah,
know
no.
who they are. so I don't know how that works.
I have placed generally in the previous campaign I placed threads that could lead you to the first campaign characters, and now occasionally I won't be like, hey, here you can find all of them.
It feels like the meetup's harder because we're in such
The
an isolated
the meetup is harder, but you
compared
don't.
to, like, traveling.
For some of the characters, you don't necessarily need to meet them so much as you need to know what they're doing or what's going on with them.
yeah, be aware of their presence.
Yeah.
Just be very careful if we hear word of a traveling paladin who's
Oh, please.
Bulk's the one that killed that guy.
You're not that
He's
guy.
the
Can you
paladin.
imagine? Holy shit.
He's the
Not
big
even
mom.
it's not even actually like a story point for why he died. Bulk
just
was just
'cause-
feeling a little pissy and
Like this fucking guy just stepped on my foot.
I'm
'Cause-
walking here.
'cause-
Slice you.
Because like when it comes to like the first campaign characters, especially, like you're probably not gonna meet them face to face. You're gonna be like, oh wait, that's them, sort of deal. Some of them, there's a chance you could meet them face to face and not die immediately. There's like a good number of them could be like
How does
that.
this
gonna
work?
say, I
Do
feel
we play us or do you play us?
Currently, I play your characters. Until if you find out what's going on with all of them, then I'll hold a campaign where you all get to play them again. And any direction you want to take them in, I'll take that into account and adjust how they
Level
play in the world.
20!
Yeah,
The
which
general rule of thumb when a player character becomes an NPC or you stop playing a player character, Leo just takes control of them to the best of
Whatever
their
direction
ability.
they
yeah,
were
I
playing.
play them based on how you played them, and I interpret that, which is why
And
I'm
events that transpire between then and now could have changed parts of them.
I've really
A lot, because if you
Yeah.
remember, we ended the first campaign with Bulk still currently hunting.
So the first campaign, you might notice that there's nothing setting wise that is connected to the first campaign setting. There was an explanation for that.
Buck killed
you-
everything.
You don't need to. I'll say this: you don't need to reach the first campaign location in order to find your first campaign characters. In fact, all of them are outside of that setting. You can go
If we
back there
find
and
one of them, will that sort of lead us in a direction that might help us find the next one?
it could. It could, depending. Some of them, like if you find Bulk, I don't think Bulk's gonna guide you to where Dawn
Yeah, but
is.
if we find anyone else, like maybe.
Yeah, but like I said, the hardest one to find is probably Scrat. The hardest one to
He's
find
gonna
it
be
is
so
probably
deep
Scrat.
underground somewhere.
like you don't even know. Easy.
Simulacrum in fucking
Yeah,
bumfuck nowhere.
Scrat was a simulacrum of like he was a clone basically. You have to find that clone. You might find the original before you find him. So
Oh,
it's so shrug.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny if we found Nasir and Bulk at the same time.
Uh, that's mildly possible, I think, depending on it.
I'm have to go to college, so it's not
yeah.
happening.
We just go to school for a bit.
Bemum is really fun because I had you guys do a fate roll at the end, and Bemum failed his super hard. So it's like Bemum's
Yeah, I remember that.
Bemum's actually
So
quite
he's
easy to fail.
He's a hobo now.
No, he's
Yeah,
not.
he's
He's
a
he's a public. In fact, he's a public figure. If any of you guys ever go to like, if you guys,
We get rid of the pennies.
yeah,
Higher education
yeah,
arc.
if a penny ever goes to school, you could be taught by Bemum, and so
There's a
it's
strong urge to go to college.
yeah.
And learn dance.
But yeah, it's very. I think like from the second campaign, obviously there are dead characters, but guess what? Something happened with that. You're gonna have to find out. Those ones are probably not that hard. I'll give the hint that if you find Bemum, you're probably gonna find Ignis very quickly afterwards.
Is hunting them?
No,
Wait, what?
Okay.
no.
You want your
Why
life
am I not just about how I played Ignis?
Yeah, Ignis, I believe on the alignment chart was like neutral good.
Chaotic good, I think.
He was like, yeah, it was chaotic good. Yeah, so it's like, nah, he's not doing that. But if you'll be able to find Ignis relatively quickly.
I hear I hear failed fate roll, and I hear if you find Bemum, you'll probably find Ignis nearby.
I'll tell you this much,
Just
Ty.
saying.
So long as like nothing, so long as like the outcome of this campaign and the outcome of the actions taken in any future campaigns don't directly affect Bemum, the failed fate roll will mostly affect that level 12 to 14 campaign, short campaign, if you guys end up finding.
Can you send
You,
a
like,
new alignment
why
chart that has our first campaign characters on it too? Because he told us what they were, but I just don't
Yeah, I
remember.
thought I sent it somewhere, but I can't find it. So I guess I didn't.
Let me see.
No, you sent like the one, but it only has campaign 2 in right now. It's pinned.
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the well. The problem that I really don't want to I don't want to spoil it basically because there's
Fair.
the first campaign characters I mentioned before. I gave I remember telling you guys at the end of the first campaign what would happen to one of them. Brandan is actually a possible warlock
Right.
patron. So like
there's
there's a campaign. The scope of campaign 1, what happened with the campaign 1 characters, campaign 2 characters are just people in the world now. Campaign 1 characters are like
That's fair.
deity figures, so it's kind of hard to be like
Never mind that. Never mind.
That's-
like we got like the big glow up for like the first campaign characters, and the second ones are
yeah. Well, that's because also like second campaign, you guys lost super bad. You guys died.
Yeah, 2 of us died straight up.
Whereas like
died.
campaign 1, you guys left it in the air, and I'm like, okay, well, I have to explain this setting, these events, and these characters. Go big or go home. And yeah, I went big with them. I think the one that I'm looking at my notes that I have for the first campaign, and like probably the character that I'm happiest with out of those green people, those people who are green. The one that I was happiest with their post first campaign arc, I guess, is probably Juno. Juno was a blank enough slate that I was like, but had like enough character and backstory. I was like, oh, there's so much I could do with Juno.
like
And-
Empress or like
You're gonna have to find out.
Mastermind.
Yeah, you're gonna.
You're gonna have to find out. I just want to point out Brandan's a warlock patron, which means he's essentially like a minor god in this setting.
That's kind of chill. I'm trying to chill with that. Wait, does that mean if I make a future campaign, I can have Brandan as my patron?
Absolutely,
That would be
you could.
The most ultimate sucking my own dick move I could
You could.
possibly
Like, I would consider the moment somebody picks Brandan as a warlock patron, I'll be like, yeah, okay, that's that discovered. You have a conversation with him once, and you've unlocked the Brandan route, I guess.
Somebody's need to
Right,
die so
so-
they can make a warlock as their next character.
So I'm gonna assume this is gonna
My
be like
backup
because
character,
like
one of my backup
if
characters is a
Venom
warlock.
and Ignis are the most findable, can this be like the more people we find, like we get clues to scrap because it's gonna be
Well,
like a
depending
scrap
on-
treasure hunt kind of thing?
I could. I like if you find either Dawn or Juno, and you actually have a conversation with them and you don't die immediately, there's a good chance they'll send you, like, they'll ask you for help for locating Scrat or something, or like, go get Scrat, basically, is what they'll tell
Go
you.
get Scrat. There are 10 Scrats in different simulacrum castles. This is not the Scrat we need.
Yes.
We're going like a Mario adventure.
Yeah, could be. Bulk, like I said, he'll find you before you find him. There is a chance. There is a chance that you could find. There's actually a connection to Bulk in the previous campaign, and at the end of this one, I'll tell you which characters that you when we end this campaign, I'll tell you, hey, here's the characters that you could have found connections to but missed. If you guys alone. If I remember in the second campaign, you guys could have found connections to, I believe, Brandan, and Juno, I think, were the ones that I planted, but you guys didn't, dig into that. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah. I linked Brandan to Celine's story, but Celine got shot and then got dead. So, you know.
Yeah. I feel like that.
These things happen.